Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So true.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. Welcome to Shop Talk, episode December 2020. This has been a very long, this is at the end of a very long 3-day weekend of intense streaming, and our last stream for a little bit is our Shop Talk with some of our animators on the crew. So me and Tracy, back when we put out the notice to hire a bunch of animators for the Lackadaisy animated short. Naturally, we got some of some of the internet's premier cat animators. Goodness, I was very biased in their favor. I'm both familiar with the Warriors Cats animation community, not having participated in it myself, but having seen it grown from the sidelines. And I was very excited when a bunch of names I recognized actually applied, and some I did not, but whose work I really enjoyed nonetheless. And of course, this was the subject of many jokes on Twitter.
Yeah,
That
I
made me
think
laugh.
who was it who posted the meme of Tom from Tom and Jerry like sneaking through a door and, and someone's like Tracy says she needs animators for Lackadaisy, and then it's like the Shop Talk Cats Maps animators or the Warrior Cats animators Shop Talk.
There was also the other one with that woman who can walk on 4 legs like a horse.
Oh yeah, yeah. The horse.
Yes.
I think Sam posted one of someone like busting a door open.
I did that. Yeah. I was looking for the Tom and Jerry one, and that one showed up with Big Bird.
That's running to apply.
So let's very quickly, because we'll get back to it and talk about it in a little bit more detail. But what is Warrior Cats? If anyone wants to volunteer an explanation,
please explain, because
cat drama.
Has read the book. Some of them
Battle
at least.
sets of cat drama.
Right. So if someone hadn't heard of the book series or didn't know anything about it, what would you tell them?
Well, first, not to read it. But
if you get in, you're stuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess a cat walks into a cult, joins immediately.
If I may, I likened it to if Watership Down were crossed with Redwall and Silverwing, while also not being quite as well written as any of those things.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more of a soap opera than all of those.
And for younger kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a much more, it's like a children's soap opera featuring cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anyway, like Fable said earlier, a lot of the artists here and who are working on the Lackadaisy animated short right now kind of got a start in animation by working on like self-styled animation projects related to Warrior Cats. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hand it off to Drew real quick to introduce yourself, and we'll just like go around and let everybody say their preferred name and tell us like just a quick like little quip about how you got here, how you started.
Gotcha. So I'm Drew. I go by Animatrocities on YouTube. I actually read the first 2 books, Fire and Ice and Into the Wild, like back in like 7th grade. And then like I wanted to get into Warrior Cats maps, but I couldn't draw cats, so I ended up doing like dinosaurs and explosions and stuff in the map community. And then around 2017, 2018, I started to get into maps and stuff with Warriors. And then ended up doing effects mostly. So pretty much how my journey went.
And you're now working on all kinds of things, like you've done work for what Has Been and Hell of a Boss. And...
Yeah, Has Been, Hell of a, Studio Yada.
Nice. Wow. Yeah. That's quite a career trajectory there. That's very cool.
Yeah, it definitely gave me a huge boost. Also, when you're like, even the map parts were like 7 seconds to tell almost like an entire story. So it was really nice, like building story and learning compositing and backgrounds and all the stuff that you kind of like learn the whole pipeline through doing a map.
Wonderful. Finch, want to say hi?
Uh-oh. Hello.
Hey.
I guess I started off. I wanted to animate back when I first found out, like back when I was probably like 12. All the A and Bs started popping up with Warriors and stuff. It's been big for like a really long time, and then it encouraged me to start a couple of years ago, and yeah, it really helped me learn animation because, like Drew said, it's like you cover the whole pipeline pretty much when you do a map part. So it's like, yeah, it like gives people lots of like practice, and it's just really fun to contribute to a project and stuff. It's pretty perfect for that, I think.
Basically,
get a lot of like new animators.
Intro to animation in full, I suppose, if when you're doing it all yourself as a small team.
Yeah,
it's very accessible now.
Yeah, I see Tracy has put up the fan art slideshow.
Oh yeah, we're doing a little slideshow of art that the
Right.
animators have contributed. Some of it's quite old, so do forgive the.
Is it a picture of Charmander?
Do I access?
Yes, I threw a photo.
Oh god,
threw a photo
that's
of
a very old
Charmander in there. One of the artists here, Sam, or I guess you go by is it Captain Kid. I apologize. What is your?
It's like Captain Kiddo,
Captain
yeah,
Kiddo, okay.
or Meow286.
Has been fostering a cat who had kittens a few months ago, and yeah, so we kind of consider the cats part of the Lacka crew. Right?
Oh yeah. Everybody needs to go adopt Charmander /
Charmander.
Yeah, if you're in Ontario, is it Oakville, Ontario?
Yeah, Oakville.
Are you Canadian and you want a Lacka cat? Why don't you just head over to Ontario and adopt this really sweet, adorable tabby who is Beth's mama cat?
I think her name is technically Malibu, right?
It's Malibu. I wasn't gonna be like her name is Charmander, so her legal name is Malibu.
Charmander's so much better.
all of the other volunteers at this shelter are all like women in their 60s, so they didn't know. They don't know.
They don't know Pokemon. Okay.
No.
I know.
They don't understand that that's the name that would make people come to that cat. I want a cat named Charmander. Yes. So yeah, that was very exciting. But
anyway, Finch, I apologize if I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was pretty much done. It's chill.
All right. Julia, if you wanna.
Hey, I'm Julia, but I went by Simply Misty. I go by that on YouTube, I guess. I discovered Warriors because one day I was like 10. I was in a Barnes & Noble and I saw a book that had a cat on it that looked like my cat, and I was like, holy shit, that's Tuggles, it's my cat. I bought it. I didn't know what like series were, so I bought book 3 of the second series and started reading it, and I was like, who is Black Star? Like, what's River Clan? Why are these cats so mad at each other? Then I found this book and I read it, and I was like, well, these are good. So then I found the map community, like Foot Warrior and stuff, like that age. It took me like 5 years of just like watching people animate to be like, all right, now I'm going to animate. So I joined around like the 5 Giants era. Yeah, that started my career as an animator, and now I'm working for Lackadaisy and Helva Boss. It's super cool.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
You joined around 5 Giants? I thought you were around for so much longer.
No, I actually wasn't around very long.
Oh.
Wow, cool.
I just joined during like the golden age of the maps, like the Whisker Moon like era.
Oh
like,
god.
Oh.
Those were the times, man.
Yeah, I miss
times.
I love the naming conventions that seem to emerge out of this.
Oh yeah, I'm endeared to the naming conventions because it kind of reminds me of what I did with K Fitawa, where we did Black Blood Alliance, and we also had that like binomial naming convention, but Warriors Cats went even further, where it's like you have like was it like a surname or something, and then the last part of your name changes.
It's like a prefix, and then the suffix changes. Yeah.
Look at my username is pretty much just that. Like it's just a warrior name. Just never
Twink
bothers
is
to
not
change
a
it.
bad name though, but I would hate for it to be the one called like Spot Paw or something. And
Yeah.
that's your name forever.
It's
My name is Spot Ear. It's like that's so not
yeah.
Embarrassing.
It's pretty it's quite useful because like people who don't know Warriors will be like, oh cool, and then people do know Warriors are like, do you read Warriors? Is that a Warriors thing? So it's like a
medicine
secret.
cat with like there's like a medicine cat with the first name Snot.
Yeah. And then your name is Star.
There's that My Brother and Me where they find people talking about Warrior Cat names on Yahoo.
That's my favorite.
They're like, what's going on? Bramble Pelt! And they like don't understand.
The Shadow Clan.
Brown here, brown for.
Yeah.
All right. So next,
Mel.
There's a lot of people here. Mel, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Mel. I used to go by Radmantel on YouTube and DeviantArt. My cousin introduced me to Warrior Cats, and I just kind of got suckered into it because I loved it and I loved the cats. And I discovered the map community, and then I got introduced to another animator named Nifty Senpai, and we made little shorts together. We made the Warrior Cats A Dark Path Chosen short with Longtail and Darkstripe, and then we were working on the Fourth Apprentice together. And it was kind of funny because it was like my first introduction to like an online studio experience, even though we were like 12 and we had no idea what we were doing. But that's basically kind of what I do now. I just work on online studios, but I get paid for it. So
cool.
It's kind of neat.
So just hobby kind of turned into a career. I think a lot of artists follow that path roughly. You kind of have to like feel your way toward discerning whether or not your skill set is marketable, I suppose, or employable, or what have you. But yeah, that's very cool. Sam, who is Meow 286, is that right?
Yes. Well, when I was a kid, I really liked reading, and I was having trouble finding a book in the library, and the librarian said, you might like these books, the Warrior Cats book, and she handed me the first one, and little did she know, she changed the trajectory of my life. Because I would animate on my DS, on Flipnote Hatena, and then I started like looking up Warrior Cat stuff on YouTube, and I found all the Alley Cat AMVs, and then I would make stuff in like MS Paint. And then I fell out of it for a few years, and then in like 2014 I saw maps, and then I really wanted to animate again, and so I started to join them. And then I started meeting everyone here through that kind of, and because I had decided I wanted to be an animator when I was like 11, so I was really focused on it, so much so that I would just neglect my schoolwork. Probably wasn't a good thing. But and then I applied to Lackadaisy this summer, and I'm in school right now at Sheridan for animation. So
very cool.
And then we got
sorry, go ahead, Fable.
Sega Master Girl.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, me. Hey, hi, I'm Kayla, also known as Sega Master Girl. My introduction to Warriors was pretty weird. Like, I remember walking to a Barnes and Nobles in the first grade and seeing like a cat on the front cover of a book in the children's section and just being like, that's interesting. And I read like the first page and then left. And that was about my whole experience. And then I like came back years later. But at the same time, with animation, it was always something I wanted to do. And I didn't really know how or knew how to get any programs. I wasn't really aware at the time until like later on. So I said, okay, I could just get this and this. And what really motivated me to find like maps and stuff was actually another animator called Night Riser. I had found they would post their animations on DeviantArt, and I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. I want to know what all of this is. And I would go to the YouTube link, and I'm just like, what is a map? What's this? And it's like this whole collaborative project. I'm like, I want to do that. So that's why I'm here.
Perfect. You got some people shouting out at you in the chat, I noticed.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, we got several fans of y'all like
Yeah.
in the chat. It's very entertaining to see
Yeah, I
like
guess
them
a
calling y'all
lot of the
out.
people who stopped in here are Warrior Cats
A lot
fans
of cat
themselves, or at least
fans.
fans
Wow.
of like the maps. I don't know if like
Yeah.
they're synonymous, but
Yeah. How
I mean,
many
I'm
of
sure
them
you
are
can
fans of the book
probably like
versus
this
the
seems like one of those fandoms where you might enjoy the fan content more than the or the fan content might be of interest to you for a longer period of time than the books will necessarily hold your
Yeah,
attention.
Oh,
most
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HarperCollins owes everything to us.
They really do.
I mean, yeah, it seems like an untapped like thing that they just like, yeah, I don't know. Star Rapture. Uh,
Hello.
Go.
hello.
I'm Star. I started animating on Flipno as well when I was like 10. And I started reading Warriors books around the same time. I would like role play with my friends on playground and stuff.
Aw.
And then around 2015, I started doing map parts for Warriors. I'd actually stopped reading the books by then, but I thought the maps were cool, so I joined anyway. And now I'm in animation school in Lackadaisy, so that's cool.
Very nice. Well, thank you all so much for introducing yourselves, and for being here, and for working on the Lackadaisy project. Like we're lucky
Oh
to
yeah,
have you
hell
here.
yeah. When I
Like-
put out the call, I was like, there better be some goddamn Warriors. I swear.
But you guys
If
go
they
hard
don't-
at your like
Yeah.
at the stuff that no one's even told you to do it. It's not
Yeah.
something
No, we
you've been
said it's our
assigned.
time.
Yeah, it's like
Guys, I shit you not. I've been in studios and I like I was showing some coworkers some Warriors Cat stuff that people have put together, and they're like, and they do this for free, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, why? And I'm like,
Self-inflicted pain.
because
We love it.
yeah.
Masochist.
Oh,
They're just
masochist.
we had it was Tony Bancroft was in yesterday, and he was lamenting how few 2D animators there were. And me and Tracy said to him, it was like, no, there's actually a ton. They're just
You didn't show
represented.
Tony Bancroft the goddamn Warriors community.
yeah, we
did you?
actually talked for quite a
Should we
while
go
with
talk
Tony
about
Bancroft
Warrior
about Warrior
Cats?
Cats.
Oh
It was,
no!
Oh,
it,
no.
it was pretty
friends
funny.
immediately.
Introduced him to the idea, and he was pretty impressed that there's just like people out there who just start animating because they like a thing, and
Yeah.
it leads to
I am
an animation
baffled.
career. Yeah.
Tony, I'm so sorry.
Next, you're gonna get Baxter in and be like, "Have you seen these YouTube cats?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure James Baxter's run into one or two Warriors people.
That is immediately what we will start talking about
Well,
if he ever
yeah.
shows up to one of
Because
our
they
He
were
just signs up from that.
By the way, Tony, I mean, look these things up, but I will warn you is that there's a lot of cats getting eviscerated. Like,
Yeah,
they're
very
crying
edgy.
a lot. But holy damn, if they the comping and the designs and the animation isn't beautiful, but it is incomprehensible. Even as someone who understands the plot to some of this stuff, I still watch that stuff. I'm like, oh boy, who's that character again?
well, we're
People
not even the
improve the
real.
plots a lot of the time.
Wait, Okami, who's in the chat, they had met James Baxter, I guess, at like a school
Yeah.
thing, and so James Baxter is already tangentially aware.
So so James Baxter already kind of knows about Warrior Cats. That's cool. That's the way it
We'll
should
take
be.
over. Netflix, are you listening?
Netflix.
So,
Take notes.
you guys, so the interesting thing about the Warriors Cats community is that the books have there is no official cartoon. There's barely any official art for that matter. They have like they have the covers of the books, which are just paintings of cats. Like they're not very exaggerated at all. There is a manga that was a short run manga that was like a spin-off or whatever of a different thing where I think like Gray Stripe crosses a road. And yeah.
To get his wife.
In his dreams, his dead wife and his dead daughter say, "It's okay, Dad. You can have another family. We're dead now." And he's like, "Sweet." And so he hooks up with a different cat. At that point, I was like, "Okay, I'm putting this down." There's very little like official art, and it varies wildly. Like the manga doesn't look anything like the book covers, and so most of the content you see for Warriors Cats is fan generated.
Yes.
Like it's fan designs, it's fan stylings, it's all like fans kind of like being influenced by one another and like one upping each other. And a big part of why that's possible is both like internet forums like becoming a thing where people were able to collaborate. Yeah, they were able to collaborate. But also the the widening availability of digital animation tools like Flash and TV Paint and Photoshop, which I don't recommend animating in, but you can.
I have tried. It is a mess.
Sweats.
Don't do it.
I have a whole tutorial series on how to do it.
I blame
Yes, I watched
it.
it.
There's a large amount of people who use Photoshop to animate.
Yeah. Oh no.
Kids are like, "What's this?" And they pick up a copy of After Effects and they just go to town.
Yeah.
People will like make animation programs out of anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And my awareness of when this sort of kicked off was that I remember back in, God, what was it? 08, 09? It must have been like 09. Or maybe it was 08. SSS Warrior Cats was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a
yeah.
banner of
I
that.
recall, and it was so aggressively Ginga Didensu weed, but with cats.
It's still really good.
It's all the where every voice actor had a different kind of microphone at a different quality level. Audio mixing was question mark.
That's the charm.
Yes, it's very charming. It is extremely aged. I highly recommend looking it up if you want to go, yeah, I could do that. And it was very ambitious though. It was very, very ambitious to see like a bunch of kids basically just gather together and be like, hey, let's make a cartoon series. And they just, slapped on some anime music and made like an anime opening and got anybody they could together who could, I guess, pick up a pen and draw things in succession. And like the person who spearheaded it was someone that went by SSS Warrior Cats, to my knowledge. And that had like 3 episodes and then it kind of died. And then sometime after that, suddenly there was an explosion of animation. And that's what surprised me was that, by that point I was too old to, really engage with all that stuff. All this kind of missed me by a few years. I think if I had been say, maybe even just 3 years younger, I would have been in the same boat with you guys. Like, I would have, having been introduced to Warriors Cats like a little bit earlier, so I would have been reading it a little bit longer, and then I would have been hopped on the internet a little bit earlier and been surrounded by other people who were doing animation. And but yeah, there's like this whole subsection of 2D animators who are younger than me, very few relatively who are at the same age as me, and then a bunch of older 2D animators who just kind of fell out of it because, well, Disney killed 2D and that was the main driver of 2D animation in the States, at least for a while. So there's just this weird gap, and I feel like, oddly enough, like Warriors Cats and Newgrounds filled in the gap. Because I remember for a while there, back when I was artist on DeviantArt, like I was one of the few 2D animators to really be doing much of anything. I didn't do anything nearly as ambitious as what you guys were doing. So I was just really freaking impressed. I was like, yo, these kids have this tech and they are going to town. So it stuck in my brain, I was just really eager to see what happened when y'all like started entering the business and like jumping on teams and making cartoons. So I'm just really, really excited to be one of those people who can, bring your, like, I guess, I don't know, bring your work to the masses. Your work has already been seen by the masses, but like be some tick on your resume, I guess. Where it's like, hey, all that cat art that we did paid off.
Yeah.
Kitten TV notes that apparently SSS Warriors is still in production, so
They are trying to get it rebooted. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yuji, the original guy, he's not involved though because he's like 30 something now, and I think he's like a tattoo artist.
Oh, sick!
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Man, I think my favorite part of SSS Warrior Cats is there's this one episode with like an old cat, and this old cat is voiced by what is obviously just like somebody's grandma.
Yes.
And I was like, we were just like got their grandma.
That's adorable.
Because the big trend in Warrior Cats, I think before the maps, is that everyone would pick a book and they'd animate it, right?
Yeah.
So like, because like Fluffy Lovey, she did like Fire and Ice. Triple of Doom like did Into the Forest. What was it called?
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild.
Into the forest. But like
it was Into the Forest though.
He did go into the forest, but it was just like crazy that people were like so ambitious that they just like want to animate the entire book. And I feel like that's what SSS Warrior Cats was trying to do. And they came close. I think they did like the first couple chapters.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, it was crazy ambitious and it was very inspirational because it's like you're like, well, if they can do it, maybe you could do something too. So it's like it is a motivator. It's a motivator. And even though a lot of it was like, clearly learning, but that's not a bad thing. I think in a way that's actually more inspirational because if you look at like a totally hyper polished piece of art and you're like you can't tell like how it was made and it's like because your own skill set is like just kind of new that can actually be discouraging. Sometimes some of the most encouraging artwork is the stuff where you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. And it's not like an offensive thing. It's like it motivates you. It motivates you.
That's exactly why I got into it, because it was like, oh, maybe I could give this a try. Instead of like watching like 2D films and being like, this looks impossible.
Yeah, sometimes the ignorance of the art form works to your benefit.
Makes it less intimidating.
You don't know quite what you're in for. I don't think I would have gotten into comics if I knew just how much work it was. Or just what I was in for. But then I got into it. And I was like, there's no escaping now. But it's like it's just going in and feeling like, I don't know, the confidence of youth, I suppose. But I'm also like impressed that when it comes to like a group of young people organizing themselves and just getting even a single episode of anything made is pretty amazing if nobody's being paid a paycheck or, it's hard to get like even a, full-grown adults who have a passion for, say, games or something to get together and make a mobile game when there's no salary on the table to, to pay them. Like
sometimes
organizing
even when there is.
Like the organization skills and the drive and that sort of like self-starter personality type is pretty unusual, and it's just impressive to me that like so many artists have banded together to make things that solid animation like solid little like short stories unto themselves. It's really it's inspiring. And actually I wanted to comment on something Milkfake had said.
Many kids who are this
Sorry, go ahead, Fable.
Oh yeah, so I said it has me like very like some of my hope for the medium is actually seeing this many kids pushing this hard just on their own for the hell of it. Just going like, I want to see what I can do with this. And because it's like the more people you have doing something like that, then there's more people pushing to like advance and expand the medium in general. So small things, they snowball into bigger things, and that kind of passion, it means a lot, and it definitely has a ripple effect down the line. So
it's really like exploded too, because back when we kind of first started, it was mostly like MS Paint and Windows Movie Maker, and now you see like 15-year-olds doing incredible stuff, and it's like intimidating, but it's also like, wow, look at how bright the future is.
Yeah, you'll see like 13-year-olds navigating Toon Boom,
Harmony,
like all the nodes.
Bananas.
3D
and Blender and
god, there's like a lot of 3D stuff that's coming out now.
I've seen that.
And there's good old TV Paint 10. Everybody loves it.
Oh yeah, that's the good old like ugly gray TV Paint 10, my favorite. I think some.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I think something that was also really exciting about Warrior Cats as a kid was like the role play front.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you would
Oh
find
my
it
You can make your own
on
character.
yeah,
Yeah.
you would find it on like any interactive website or game. Like, I led a clan on Toontown called River Clan, and my name was Misty Star, which is where my like Simply Misty name came from. And I was so serious about it. Like, it was my life for like 2 years.
I think
I
most
love
of us
that.
who had like an upbringing on the internet that like partially took place on the internet did like
Yeah.
I know, like, it was
Yeah.
like so
Yeah,
big. I'm
like-
still like meeting
You
people
guys
who
were
were
the
in my
cat
clan when I was
community.
11.
I was part
I had a
of the
clan on
Wolf
Club
Gang.
Penguin.
Club Penguin clans.
I was on Instagram.
Penguin clan.
DeviantArt
no, that's
roleplay.
like that's a huge part of like how you learn to write is that
Mhm.
roleplay stuff, or how you learn storytelling, and also like those projects that have those openings for that like kind of encourage like creating OCs, or encourage you to take characters that are not quite fully defined but to like project onto them like your own stories because they're a little bit hazy in their backgrounds or whatever. That kind of stuff like just seems to like suck people, like creative people in, and they start like toying with them like they're like little, dolls basically, and you can like invent your own stories. And it seems like Warrior Cats is like just like prime for that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it's freaking ideal.
I would have been all over. I would have been so all over that if it had come out like earlier when I was a kid. Yeah, I was like so into. I was in my like the only person I knew growing up who was into reading books about dogs, books about rabbits, of course, Watership Down, and books about horses and everything. And like the internet really hadn't come into its own at that time, and so there really wasn't like this idea of fandoms on the internet that you could go and be in and talk with like fangirl over this stuff with them and role play with people. And so yeah, I was just kind of like lonely drawing characters that I had based on these, like I had like this whole cadre of Watership Down characters that I would just draw in my notebooks by myself. And I'm like, oh man, if I had like Warrior Cats or something and I could have been part of a community, that would have like that probably would have changed my
The internet
career
is a
trajectory.
blessing.
Yeah, I think my career might have taken a turn. Like I probably would have gotten distracted with that instead of making Lackadaisy or something. But I think
Lackadaisy boat rabbits.
yeah.
10 years younger. Yeah.
Milkfake says let's see. It says, thanks for even talking about how these animators are passionate with warriors, because it's definitely a subject I can't see other professionals like to discuss, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's kind of important to talk about for up and coming artists to talk about like how you got to where you got as like a professional or working professional, because I think a lot of us don't know. Like I grew up not knowing how to be, like I wanted to be an artist but I didn't know how, and it seemed sort of unapproachable.
There was no internet how-to art on Google.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like a nebulous, like how do you become someone who's paid to, work on a Disney film or whatever, and there just was no like clear path for getting there. It seemed like you would have to be discovered or something like that instead of like putting your own material out
the
there.
mythology of it was what ruled everybody, and
Right.
like nowadays there's so much advice, but like I remember when I was a kid and was like just going like, where do I go to school, and like nowadays it'd be like, oh, look up your like favorite on your favorite movies, like check out what those people who worked on those movies, where did they go to school, and like talk to them about yada yada yada. That didn't exist.
Yeah.
That didn't used to exist.
And it's also so, it's like reading a biography of someone is so impersonal, but like when you can go online and like see the work that led up to someone's, actual career, and you can actually interact with them or talk with them or listen to them discuss it in a, podcast. I think it's so much more, I don't know, maybe puts the minds at ease of younger people who maybe want to follow similar paths and just don't quite know yet how to do it, or and a lot of us I think get there by just kind of stumble our way along. We don't quite know, like it's like I want to do art, I know I want to do something related to animation, but I don't quite know exactly what, like maybe FX animation like Drew does, or compositing or something, but like you don't quite know what you want to do, you don't know how to get there, and so it feels like something that you almost unattainable because of that. And so I feel like it's important to explain, like, yeah, here's how I like fumbled my way into my job, and you don't have to be super serious and academic about it the entire way. You can have fun and pursue the things you love and get there that way. So yeah. So it's encouraging to hear from you, and I think it probably, like, there are probably 12-year-olds out there right now who are like looking at what you have done and just like going, yeah, I
I
can
hope
do that.
so. I hope so. I mean, one reason why I wanted to make the production of this project fairly open was specifically so that people who are just up and coming or they're trying to figure out how to do this on their own can go, oh, here's a roadmap, and they won't follow the exact path. I don't even recommend that they do. There's a lot of things that exist for Lackadaisy that won't exist for anybody else. However, it gives you some idea of a way that you could go, and then you can kind of like adapt the path from there. And I think one key element is like, just like finding a group of people who also want to do the same thing. And in a lot of ways, like fan communities provide you with the space to explore that kind of thing. I'd say that organizing maps is probably a really good way to like introduce yourself to directing, because if that's something you want to do, I mean, if you can direct a group of people who are just doing it for free, even just for shits and giggles, and you can get like something made, then you have something under your belt right there, where you have organized like a crew of people to do something. Like I did a All Dogs Go to Heaven reanimate, like a what was that? What that came out like a year and a half ago or something, and that
Yep.
alone was like a huge learning experience, and that was very recent for me. Just go and do that, and you will learn so much. It'll give you
Yeah,
like a
you
stepping
do.
stone for learning how to manage people and like manage a team and arrange like a schedule and all this. And what's more is that you know if it falls apart, it's not a huge loss either, and it might. There's a lot of projects I've started that don't really go anywhere, but that's fine because you still learn from it. So I think it's good to have a space to do that kind of thing. And sorry about the jingling and the bird.
It's very festive. It's okay.
Yeah. So but yeah, I want other people to be able to do what we're doing and do better even, and I really am looking forward to what you guys do in the future beyond this project even, and what projects you start. Thank you, Nico, for the commentary.
Siri the shrimp said something that I thought was nice that you guys, I just figured I'd pass it along. It just kind of scrolled by in the chat. Siri says, "This is so surreal. Who would have thought edgy 12-year-olds animating fighting cats on YouTube? Where edgy 12-year-olds animating fighting cats on YouTube would end up here. So proud of watching so many of these artists grow up and follow their journeys."
Yeah. Well, what do you
I
think?
take that, middle school bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you won, yeah. And Dakota DeBear says, $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. Has anything in Warrior Cats given you something in Lackadaisy, even an Easter egg in your work? Full disclosure, I've not read any Warrior Cats. I've seen several of them, of the maps. I've watched a lot of the stuff that's on YouTube because it's good. But I have not actually read the books. Yeah, I think they're probably a bit aimed at people a bit younger than me. But I do want to discuss them though, because I've heard some very
please explain to Tracy, much like we so on Friday where they explained JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to Tracy. Try to summarize Warrior Cats.
I have been getting quite the education in popular media.
My favorite part in the first Warrior Cats book is when Rusty, who is Firepaw, first meets Blue Star, and the first thing she says is, she's like, "You haven't been neutered yet. You can come live with us."
I forgot about that. It's like, oh, you still have your nuts.
Yeah. She's like,
God, we're so
she's like, you haven't been to the cutter. She's like, what?
You haven't been to the cutters yet.
Yeah, she's like, you're intact. It's like weird.
This is the first thing I noticed about you. That's
thanks, Grandma, for noticing.
Thanks, old lady.
So they
old strange lady in the forest.
So what I'm getting from this is that if a cat is fixed or neutered, they don't want anything to do with it. They only want breeders. Is that?
They think they're weird. They talk about it at the beginning. They're like,
have to understand that
like it's the first chapter or so.
It's not the first chapter. They're like the neighbor, like when Rusty's talking to the other cat, Smudge is like, Henry used to hunt and chase birds, and then he went to the cutter and came back, and now all he does is sleep.
It's like going to get a lobotomy or something. Like
Erin Hunter needs to rethink what they are authors actually. Erin Hunter is like a collective. Aaron Hunter needs to rethink
Hive
what
mind.
they're
Mhm.
teaching kids about cats. Like,
Yeah,
It's so much more.
like,
feral cat.
do they
Probably
maybe
not
put
the
a
best.
please spay and neuter your pets at the end of the book?
Yeah.
Like,
These cats are purely fantasy
the views
cats.
of these
They are
cats do
please
not
hunters.
represent the views of the.
Yeah.
That's how, like, I found it interesting in the Gray Stripe manga, because Gray Stripe gets taken to a shelter and then he gets given to a family, but he's not neutered, which is unusual.
Yeah.
They didn't neuter him at the
And-
shelter.
And Millie wasn't neutered either. Millie was like chilling with like an actual family for forever.
Yeah, because they
or not neutered. She wasn't
spayed.
Spayed, yeah.
I was
It's
like,
too much of a
shelter
ladies'
is
man to get
adopting out
neutered.
this cat.
It is kind of disturbing though. It's like these cats, which are sentient creatures, with their own language, and religion, and culture, and history, and everything. They have medicine, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
human and freely like neutered and turned into. It's like it's kind of fucked up. It's
They
so
accept.
Yeah, you get kind
Yeah.
of that issue whenever there's any sort of story where you anthropomorphize pets.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
basically why it's like Watership Down meets Redwall, but there's a reason why Redwall cut humans out of the cage, out of the storyline after book 1.
You have to
There are
keep
no
the
more
animals
humans. What are
a
humans
little
even?
bit dumb.
Yeah.
I feel like the warrior
Yeah.
cats are really. They have to be
Yeah.
kind of stupid. They have to have almost human intelligence or not quite, because if they're too smart, then it gets really weird.
Kind of works to recall every
No,
big
we have Star
man
Fan
made
instead.
by something really strange. Like
Mhm.
what Thunderpath is a road, Monster is a car.
Yeah, and they call humans 2 legs.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, so Rusty, who becomes Fire X, whatever, as his name changes. through the story,
Fireheart.
is
Fire
turned into
X.
Fireheart Firestar.
Yeah.
XX Firestar.
So, as I
Mhm.
recall, Blue Star, who is the leader of Thunder Clan, which is one of the feral cat colonies, gets a. Is it her or like the medicine cat who gets like a
Spotted Leaf, the medicine cat.
Yeah.
Leaf,
Yeah,
the
Spotted Leaf.
medicine cat?
She
It's a
smells so good.
prophetic vision that says fire will save the clan because I guess Thunder
smells
Clan's in
great.
trouble. That's the name of the cats that live in the forest, by the way. And so they're like, oh, I guess that means that this one cat who happens to have a sort of a ruddy pelt is like, he's kind of fire colored. I guess that fulfills the prophecy. Let's bring in this random cat. So they bring in
Yep.
this actual kitten into their clan and say, okay, we're gonna train you to be
Hey kid,
a
wanna join a
warrior
gang?
cat. Anyway, there is a anyway, so they're like, oh, fire will save the clan, so we bring in this random cat. Meanwhile, Mufasa gets killed by Scar. And that's
True.
Scar also wants to defeat Blue Star, who is the Super Mufasa. And there's a whole lot of dramas involved, and fire whatever, it has to be introduced to the ways of the feral cat colonies.
Mhm.
That there are 4 of them, and their Star Clan, which is the ancestors, or like any dead cat who lives in the stars, because again, this is kind of Lion King like. Your ancestors in the stars have told you there has to be 4 clans, and there should always be 4 clans. They meet under the
And
moon.
only 4 clans.
And only
4 clans.
Arbitrarily
Kind of
just.
like- yeah.
until
And then they
forget the
find the
5th clan.
secret 5th clan.
there's a 5th one.
It's a Patreon tier reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite
They
part about
unlocked it.
Firepaw getting introduced to ThunderClan is the first thing that happens is he just gets like the shit beaten out of him by another
Yeah.
cat.
4 clans: Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. Which
That's basically
barely a
it though.
joke.
Like the personalities of the fucking Hogwarts houses are like the same that they
Yeah.
They really are.
ThunderClan is just like, we like to be pretty.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
like Ravenclaw's
They get stolen by
River
Twigs a lot,
Clan.
River Clan.
Wind Clan would be Hufflepuff, Gryffindor is Thunder
Yeah.
Clan, and then Shadow Clan is always evil for no reason, so it would be
Slytherin.
Slytherin.
They live in a dump and
Kills everything.
they're like jealous or something because they live in a dump, and it's like, I don't know, man. Why not?
Oh, that's
live in
Blood
something like,
Clan.
you can't
Yeah,
do
that's-
that.
that's Blood
You
Clan.
belong in a dump.
Shadow
Clan
Clan just
lives
eats
in a
like
forest
frogs all day.
Shadow Clan lives in a swamp and they eat
Yeah.
frogs.
They eat frogs and rats all day.
Yeah, and then
also a dump.
no, that's
Yeah.
Blood Clan. You're combining the two.
No,
They might as well
wait a
be the
minute.
same.
No, I think I think
They have
That's when they
there's
live
a
near a
dump
dump.
nearby, and it's full of rats, but they don't. The rats in there like kill the cats.
Yeah,
That's, like,
they
the
can.
thing.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
die from rat.
They're not very warrior-like if the rats infest them.
Blue Star gets
on,
killed
yeah.
by rats.
Blue Star
Yeah.
dies from rats, and so does Firestar, right?
Yeah.
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 They die
It's
from rats.
I remember reading that as a kid, and I think I just underestimated how large rats can be because I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of them.
Like the badgers made sense, but the rats.
Yeah.
They also describe
Every kind of animal
foxes
wants
as
to
being
kill
way
these
too
cats.
large.
They do.
Like
get murdered all the
foxes
time.
are not that much bigger than like a large tomcat.
Foxes in
and
real
then-
life are such wussers as well.
Yeah,
A cat
it's
could
like
totally
between a
take a
cat and
fox.
fox are about toe to toe. Foxes don't weigh as much as dogs the same size, so
They're really
pretty
skinny.
They're pretty much cats, but dog shaped.
Has anyone died from foxes in the series?
Yes, I think
I
so.
feel like they encounter them a lot, but then they just like chase them off.
I feel like characters that die by foxes are characters that are not important.
Doomed to die.
The red shirts.
Well, I just remember like in between books they would just be like sometimes in between books they would just offhandedly mention they were like Willow Pelt was torn to shreds by a badger 3 weeks ago, and then that's the last you heard about that cat.
Aaron Hunter's like, we need less cats.
Yeah.
Still here.
Okami will
There's throw a fox in the mix.
Ravenclaw is a perfectly valid warrior cat's name.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's Mountain Dew.
So anyway, they're
Hufflepuff
Hufflepuff
too, they're not
clans.
cowards.
They are called Thunder Clan, River Clan, Wind Clan, and Shadow Clan. And River Clan and Wind Clan sort of don't matter in a way. It's like I keep forgetting like what even is the distinction between those two, other than one lives by water and one lives on a hill. And that's about it, because most of the conflict is between Shadow Clan and Thunder Clan, because Thunder Clan is Gryffindor. And they're important because they live in a forest and everybody's jealous of them because the forest is so good. And they're always fighting over territories between each other because the cats are organized more like pseudo wolf packs than they are cat colonies.
Yes.
Yeah. So they don't really behave like cats, basically. They sort of behave like a combination of human tribe plus wolf pack, where they will like hunt in groups and stuff. And also like vie over territory, where they're always like marking their territory that they mutually share, and there's like a head cat with like subcats, with like a hierarchy going on, where every cat is a warrior cat because all cats are Spartans apparently.
Yep.
And you're trained from like as soon as you don't need to suckle milk, basically, you're being trained to be a warrior cat. And then one day you might be a medicine cat, which is a cat that like chews up leaves or whatever and spits it in your wounds.
Medicine cats also take a vow of chastity. Which,
there's no particular reason why. It's just because, I guess.
They're just like they say it's like the justification for it is they're like, if all of the cats of the clan are sick and your family is sick, you're gonna bias and treat them, so you're not allowed to have babies or whatever.
Well that has to
There's one cat that
right?
Yeah, one cat couldn't make it work, so it doomed everybody.
Yeah.
It's
like being a nun.
Like, shouldn't you have like multiple medicine cats and not one cat?
There's usually ThunderClan has like 5 right now.
Yeah.
There's Jayfeather, Leafpool, Alderheart, and then Briarlight is also kind of one. And then I think one of them has an apprentice as well. I don't know.
Okay, so they've learned a little bit.
Well, like, yeah.
And then there's deputies, which are basically the beta wolves. They're like the cops or something of the cat clan.
Like the Owslove.
Yeah,
the Owslove.
Yeah, there's like the head deputy, and basically. And then there's the leader, whose name is always something Star. Like they have 9 lives. They have 9 lives.
Oh yeah, I was seeing that in the chat. I was gonna ask, like, so they die and they can die and come back like 9 times. Is that?
Yeah, unless you're Tiger Star.
Get
all that out of the way at one time.
You get extra
the
because
you are
he's
declared leader.
author
You
favorite.
get the
Tiger Star, he got killed so hard by Scourge that he got killed 9 times. He couldn't heal his wound, and
he got instant death.
He got disemboweled, so the wound couldn't
Yeah.
be healed. So he just kept reviving and then dying again.
Yeah, like that one scene in Feliday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that, basically.
They had X-Men themselves together. I guess if you behead one, it's still gonna be dead. But I don't understand.
It has limits.
Okay, so that's no good. But then if you get run over by a car, you're fine. So it's if all your organs are
sometimes.
I think their body has to be intact. But if they're demolished, it's it's not good.
I don't think StarClan can put your can't put your spleen back in your stomach.
There needs to be some ambitious medicine cat that's okay, look, I'm gonna figure this shit out. I have a direct line to StarClan. StarClan, I need to take some notes. How does this work exactly?
StarClan is dumb.
I need to know the limits of this because
really.
StarClan is are they the Jedi ghosts of
Yeah, they're like Jedi ghosts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're like Force ghosts.
And
at first they were just kind of
StarClan is all Mufasas in the sky.
Yeah. Well, at first they were just kind of a nebulous afterlife, and you never really saw them. But then they just started talking and just being ghosts that they could talk to constantly. And then it would show when they were in StarClan, everyone's just walking around and talking to each other. And it's well, why do they even have all these magic powers if they're just ghosts? I don't know.
And then they manifest on Earth.
Yes,
and then
they do.
They can actually just enter
Are
Earth,
you
like
really
the Dark
dead
Force.
if you're in StarClan?
I guess.
But the thing is, they can die again in StarClan, where it's if cats forget who they are, or they can just get physically killed, I guess, again, and then they just are gone forever, or they go somewhere else. I think the authors were they go somewhere else. What does that mean? They go to Super Hell with Castiel from Supernatural.
It's funny. There's a hell version of StarClan too.
Yeah.
The bad cats go, and they all live in mud, and it's all dark and it's gross.
It's stinky.
They have to lick their pelts clean every minute, and they'll never be clean. And they're
themselves.
Nightmare.
They're just
oh no.
They keep their wounds, so it's still bloody. Or I don't know if that actually happened, or if that was just a headcanon by the fandom.
Well, I think it's because there's this cat named Snowtuft, and then he gets fucked up, and he has a huge scar that goes down his body. That's his death wound or something. I think that's where it came from.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, that's metal. That cat's metal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyway, basically, magic sort of does or doesn't exist. And then once a month or something, or every few months?
Full moon.
Every full moon, all the cats have to come together, and each of the 4 clans has to meet, and they have to have one big
truce.
Jellicle ball.
It's a caution.
Don't forget that if it's a cloudy day that day, that means the heavens are angry.
Yeah.
The clouds
Or if a cloud goes over the moon,
Oh no. So
God forbid.
They have their little summit, basically. And then they sass each other about who's best cats. And then they go back home. Yeah, and StarClan says that you cannot marry outside of your clan, but also the clans discourage inviting new cats in. So I have to assume that StarClan, who established these rules, ideally wants everybody to be really inbred or something, but thankfully nobody follows the rules, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Again, another rule because someone else couldn't make it work.
Exactly.
Yeah. The rules suck.
So,
they're objectively terrible.
Yeah, so it's so yeah, what was it? What did Fireheart even save them from? Was it just a bunch of dogs? One day?
He saved them from Tiger Star, I guess.
Oh yeah, because Star, who is Tiger Star, was I'm gonna become the leader of ThunderClan.
He tried to kill Blue Star.
Yeah.
So Tiger Claw killed Mufasa, whose name was Lionheart or something.
Red Tail and Lionheart killed both.
Red Tail and Lionheart, the deputies, because Tiger Claw was such a bad guy, and he's so freaking ambitious, and he wants to be leader of ThunderClan. So he's like, I'll kill everybody. And he nearly kills Blue Star, but Fireheart stops him. And then he's like, fuck you guys, and goes and takes over Shadow Clan or something? I forget.
Yeah.
Yes. Because their leader, for some reason, StarClan was like, you don't get 9 lives, so he was easy to kill, and then Tiger Star just kind of like walked in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
They're all sick and dying.
Yeah.
A couple things.
With
First, I
green
want
top, I
to.
think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kayla. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I wanted to go ahead and put it out there that we have about an hour left, and I want to encourage the chat to ask questions now if you have them, so we can have time to answer. If you have questions about animation or software or how people got there, or any questions about Warrior Cats, I guess, any lore or whatever that someone here might be able to answer.
Accepting donations, which go to pay these guys, basically. All donations
I'll
are...
put the info up. And I also wanted to ask if there was some kind of through line to the story, because you guys are going into all these, like, the details about the lore and like, the world building and everything, but, like, is there, like, a point? Or is there, like, a like, overarching theme? Or is it just, like, chronicles of...
That's a loaded question.
Cat soap opera.
So it is literally a cat soap opera. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of beautiful
It's like,
in its way, I suppose.
like
It's Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, each 6 books has its own sort of self-contained story arc, but those don't have any deeper meaning. It's more like, oh no, I had forbidden babies.
Oh, and the newest one is like, possession.
Oh yeah, Bramblestar is possessed by a demon that is his wife's ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I think I caught wind of you guys talking about like the demon possession thing that's happening
what
now.
Is
I
this?
guess
This is new. Nothing like this even remotely happened in the
No,
book
this is
that I read.
weird.
No.
Bramblestar died, and then in the moment that his like lives were transitioning or whatever, Ashford just like snuck into his husk, and now he's like piloting around Bramblestar like a meat puppet. Well, Bramblestar is like a disembodied ghost that can't tell everyone that he's possessed, and he's just like out of his body.
I like the progression of Warrior Cats because every series you can see the authors getting more and more ballsy and desperate. So like the first 2 are pretty normal, and then like Omen of the Stars, it's just like suddenly the cats have superpowers.
Lionheart like lifts up an entire tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is blood like? I recall stopping reading around the same time that Firestar became leader, and then there was like the next generation basically like happened, and somewhere along the line there was a cat named Scourge.
Okay.
And Blood Clan happened, and they put like dog teeth on their claws because that makes them sharper, even though dog teeth don't work that way. But you know, whatever. It's
We're pretending.
It doesn't matter. It's just anime weapons.
Yeah.
Anime weapons. Yeah.
So cool in the manga.
Please explain who is Scourge and Blood Clan and
they're like a group of feral cats that live in the human town, and Tiger Star has heard about how Scourge is so epic and good at killing, so he goes to ask him for help and to kill everyone so he can take over the whole forest. And then when they get there, Firestar's like, Scourge, Tiger Star is just going to betray you. And then Tiger Star tries to attack Scourge, and then Scourge kills him really hard, and he dies 9 times. And then they have to fight Blood Clan.
That bothered me because I was like, wait, the whole thing was leading up to Firestar going to have a confrontation with Tiger Star, and instead this one random cat smacked him super hard, and
he's a man. He's also a man.
I don't think he's like tiny.
Yeah, he's like a baby.
He's very tiny.
He's like Charmander size.
Yeah.
So Charmander.
There's a whole
Charmander, not the Pokemon.
Charmander killed a full-grown Maine Coon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole backstory in the manga where basically him getting killed is like all revenge because Tiger Star had bullied him when he was like a kid, and he just ran away and then wanted revenge and waited for Tiger Star, I guess, to come to him. He's like, finally, I can exact my revenge.
You gotta watch the rise of
Dr.
Dr.
Also
Scourge.
Firestar's brother.
He is Firestar's half brother.
Half brother, yeah.
What?
They have the same father.
Yeah.
Firestar's half brother.
I didn't know this.
That's why Scrollflight has one white paw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Scourge
Scourge
has
had
one
one
white paw.
and then
Oh,
Fire.
that one.
Yep.
Squirtle has one too.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. We got some questions to answer. So basically,
We do.
soap opera.
I kind of derailed the conversation badly when I was trying to answer Dakota DeBear about Easter eggs. We don't actually have any Easter eggs in there. It's mostly because of my ignorance of Warrior Cats, but I suppose we could maybe slip something in at some point.
I don't know how
we have some booze labels we need to come up with and things like that.
Get a booze label and put a little, like, imitate the Into the Wild illustration of Rusty and put it on a booze label.
Clan symbols.
Yeah.
That weird. That would be like drawing a naked human. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, there's wine bottles. And shit, like
wine bottles.
Yeah. Eight Sun says Lackadaisy is kinda also Warrior Cats, but with guns. I mean, fair point, I guess.
I'd like to think there's a stronger through line through all that.
I mean, Lackadaisy has a plot, so it's winning.
It's based on an actual event.
Yeah, I mean, there's an attempt at a theme. I hope it comes through.
Your writing is way stronger than the Warrior Cats.
It's not meant to.
Does Lackadaisy have demon possession via a vengeful ex-boyfriend?
No.
Yeah,
well,
what the heck? Suddenly acquire magic powers
Tracy.
and usurp Mitzi and or something like that, and Mitzi ascends to the stars.
I mean,
I think you're fine.
Yeah, the story has
Seraphine was a wizard after all.
beginning and an end. Prohibition only lasted for so long, so gotta wrap the story up at some point. But
the Lackadaisy will be shorter.
True.
I'm afraid it's less interesting than Warrior Cats in many regards. There's no demon possession.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it's.
I really hope that they do an exorcism.
Oh, well,
okay. Let's go through some questions, and then I want to talk about like your fan versions of the Lackadaisy Cats, but in their messed up dumpster lives instead. Let's get some questions before we go to that.
Oh yeah, you might see in the artwork slideshow. There's like a who drew the Rocky?
I did. That was me.
Nice.
I drew.
I love it. Pie the Hat Guy says, "Is there a cat that just dislikes the clan system and tries to live alone outside the clan intrigue and drama?" Oh, you like a Kenshin samurai sort of.
Yeah, they're called rogues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rogues, you mean?
Yeah, they're called rogues.
The lone wolf.
I thought you said Roogs. It might just be my internet being fucky, but I thought I heard Roog and I was like, that's new.
There's that matriarchy.
Spelling it Rouge, so it's close.
There was that one black cat that was like Redtail's apprentice or something, and he was just like,
Ravenpaw.
Ran away.
Oh, Ravenpaw did that. Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
He's in the picture. I mean, he's covered by the little Lackadaisy picture now, but he's the little black cat that's on the thumbnail.
Lose that. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's the one. The answer is.
And then there's the sisters in the new book who are like the matriarchy who live in like a anti-establishment society.
It's funny because cats being the way they normally organize, matriarchy would be more establishment.
Yeah. There's other cats. Like, it's not just warriors. There are other like cats with their own similar.
There's the tribe cat in the mountain.
Yeah.
Now they have like, what do they call cats that are pets?
Kitty pet.
Kitty pet.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing. Like, I guess it's intended to be demeaning or something, so they don't like.
Yeah.
Okay. But do human characters like play a part in the stories at all, or do they?
No,
they're just
not really.
Like they're there, but
they cut down the first forest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess
they're like a
more
threat
like
to their well-being.
Yeah, they act kind of like a unseen force that they don't really understand.
They drive the cars.
Yeah,
they log the forest.
Okay, so
that's when they have to move to a
different. They're okay.
Yeah.
All those like feral cats killing all the birds and all the wildlife are real sad. Okay. Dastingo asks, "Is everything Warriors Cats all you made? Is it still available for the public? And one, should I read Warriors Cats?"
Like all our animations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
everything's on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
YouTube.
Maps. Yeah.
Do we maybe do if you want us to link some things? Feel free to post them into the.
Probably the Five Giants map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, Newt, if you
Like
can.
Five Giants.
But
What's
just
the other
search
Ready as
one?
I'll ever be.
and there's a lot.
Yep, that's a good one.
Okay.
I know mostly all the old ones, like the 2015 ones. So I'll just
we also
recommend old
tried.
ones.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
if you can
Alley
like
Cat's one's really good.
copy
Oh,
those
yeah.
links into the chat.
Want to do that?
Yeah,
I got you.
Oh god.
Thank you.
While Newt is relaying some of those, you guys want to talk specifically about a couple that just stand out to you? Like you're like, oh, you should definitely watch this one. Like because I see
Like
you guys
if
are
there's
posting-
one you're most proud of working on, or
Yeah.
I think Heater 8 Sun's Echo is really good. That's like really a really unique art style in that one.
Yeah. It's all silhouettes.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, it's all silhouettes.
Ready as I'll ever be has more views than the actual Disney upload of that song. Which
I
is
know.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Yeah, the map has 10 million views, and the
Wow.
Disney
Oh my god.
upload has. Oh, now it has 12 million. I guess it surpassed it.
Oh my god.
Either
It
way,
used to have
I
10
mean,
million.
like it's hard to imagine Warrior Cats would be an ongoing thing still at this point if like you guys weren't propelling so much of like the fandom.
And yet, I don't think they acknowledge.
And
you
they haven't
guys
really.
at
Yeah, it seems
all.
like they don't acknowledge. Like they should have tapped into that. Man, what a.
They're kind of aware. Like I know
little
when they first did the website, they had fixed their website. They had gotten a whole bunch of animators to advertise for them at one point. And yeah, something like that.
They send like free merch to them sometimes to like review. Like Color Cat in the Hat gets some like review items from them.
Okay, that's cool. Still,
but like the animation, not so much.
Yeah, it's like they should have reached out and been like, let's pay these people to make.
They
something,
appreciate
like,
it, but they don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but
I think,
I mean, this is a big publishing company, and they're they're not.
Yeah,
Who's the publisher?
Yeah.
Who publishes it?
HarperCollins.
Oh, HarperCollins. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. I guess because they're that. Big
Let us make a movie.
Yes.
The Warrior Cats fandom is very unique in that I don't really know any other fandom where most of the fan content, if not most of just the content that people are here for, is not really the books themselves, but it's like all animation. Like I don't know if there's another, mostly animation. I've never found another fan base that has so many animators.
Mostly Homestuck is the only one I can find.
Yeah.
Because even other fandoms have animatics for the most part.
No, they have animatics, but those usually
animatics.
aren't like
That's
the,
quite recent.
the massive.
Like full blown, yeah.
Most of the fan content is not animated.
Right.
It'll be fan
And
art.
like
So there's a lot of fan art,
most
but
people
I feel like
who become fans eventually either draw or animate down the line. I feel.
I feel like the Warrior Cat thing. It's like it's so animation focused.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting because it's like because some people became so well known for doing animation, then a lot of the fan art became animation focused because of those folks, because that was the way you got seen by the community, which like just started to create this snowball effect where that's just where everybody pumped all their energy into. So unlike like some other fandoms where just fan art alone can sustain, it seems like that just kind of became part of the culture of that fan community was to make animations.
Yeah, I think the fact that they are books and then the characters are just like a gray cat, so people can do a lot of interpretation with their designs. Yeah, so it really I think it really benefits itself to animation also that way because you can do so much. If it's not, you don't already have like a preconceived visual notion of what the character looks like. Like when you watch an anime, it's like what Naruto looks like.
Yeah,
right?
There's like a correct way.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
I just wanted to. Smokey Fern says at one point I heard that they were possibly planning on taking down animations and such. I kind of could see them.
I think that was a rumor.
Oh, if they were.
Yeah,
planning,
there
if
was
they were
never
like.
substantiated.
No.
If they were going to launch a cartoon or something, they might come out. Like I know there was.
They will never launch a cartoon.
There was like some issues in the the My Little Pony community for a while there, where people were doing.
Yeah, but the problem with coming at like Warriors Cats fan animators is that what would they come at them for?
I
Like
don't
the
know.
designs are not owned by those folks. It's a gray cat, you know, and everybody has their own version of a gray cat. So the problem would literally just be it being labeled Warriors, and that's pretty much all they could come at you for.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember
Just
My Little
change
Pony
the
was
title.
like,
Yeah.
My Little Pony, they would like mimic the style of the show, and they would just like make their own assets of the actual
True.
characters.
Yeah,
a lot of
because the
time.
cartoon already exists, and they were basically taking trademarked designs and I suppose that.
They're basically advertising for Warrior Cats
and also Hasbro.
Yeah.
Which is very
Sorry, Fable, go ahead and ask the question. I just wanted to.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. I had to let a dog inside. So Sophia Gomez asks, what do you think the community will look like or be like in another 5 years?
3D.
I don't know. I think with like Blender and stuff, you'll see a combination of 2D and 3D.
Yeah, I think. I kind of get the impression, like it wouldn't go fully 3D because I think people at least that are interested in it are 2D animation aficionados, and
it'll definitely be like a combo because I know people now who are using like 3D backgrounds and then 2D animations to combine them both.
Yeah, I want to try doing some stuff like that because I think it can really save time.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing on Lackadaisy is a lot of 3D props and vehicles and things, but 2D animation mixed in.
All right.
Where I actually Dostingo had a second part to their question that we didn't quite cover. It said, should I read Warrior Cats? I suppose there may be certain books that are better than
fun.
others,
They're entertaining.
You can.
They're fun. I think the first series is pretty strong.
Yeah, the first series is solid.
Yeah.
I think they're
you'll enjoy
enjoyable. Just don't
yourself.
expect loads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have fun with it, like imagining
Use it like a sandbox.
what you want.
I
Yeah.
guess if you're looking for some like dense literary material to mull over, that's probably not where you would go for it. But for a fun, lighthearted like adventure, I guess.
Little kitties.
Maybe not lighthearted because
little kitties.
Lots
little
of
kitties.
characters die, but all right. Dino.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So go ahead.
Dino J10 says, "What are y'all's favorite Warrior Cat characters?"
Grr.
I like Ravenclaw.
Ivy Pool.
Squirrel Flight.
Fuck this and runs off, and everybody's like, move.
I like Cinder. Belt.
Oh, Cinderpelt's good.
I like Ravenpaw.
She was always my favorite. She's so sweet.
Oh, okay. So Ravenclaw is actually. I thought someone was saying
Ravenpaw.
Oh, Ravenpaw. Okay. Gotcha.
Excuse
Could
you.
have been Ravenpaw.
Ravenpaw is the black cat that is in the art there.
Yeah.
He just
It's
like
very
goes off
soft.
to live in a barn with his BF.
That's cute.
But yeah, I liked the cat that was a medicine cat that was Yellow Fang. That was her
Yellow
name.
Fang.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. She's
I
really
like
cool.
that one.
Yeah.
Yellow Fang was real.
Did you guys see the like I don't know, there was somebody who was like doing here's what 12-year-old me was like RPing, like she filmed a TikTok of herself or something, and she was like a medicine cat, and she was like having a conversation.
Yeah, I did that shit on the playground.
Here, have some poppy seeds.
Yes, yeah. That cracked me up. Okay. Biasfee says, did you develop any relation with Aaron Hunter over this time?
No.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it's
Some
been established
people-
that Aaron Hunter is not one. Is like a pen name for multiple people. I think. So.
Yeah. Some people talked with Kate Carey, who's one of them.
I think that contributes to the books not really having a coherent plot, is because it's like four different writers that just write their own book.
And now it's even more.
Yeah,
branched out even further.
I think somebody noted in the chat a little while ago that like there have been cats who died in books and then they appeared in other books.
There's a cat named Heavy Step that has died like 3 times.
Yeah.
What do we have against Heavy Step?
Poor Heavy Step.
Everyone
Wait, what? just like the name Heavy Step because that means it was Heavy Kit.
Oh.
I can't relate. That one's heavy.
Well, one of my kittens is really
God.
heavy. I would name him that.
Your kitten Heavy.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
I hate him. I hate my child.
No, he's a big boy. Well, there's cats named Little Kit.
Well, that's
Is
cute.
Well, see, where's Big Kit?
Big Kit.
Big kid.
His name could be like, I don't know, Big Ear. Oh, that would be so mean.
Yeah, one cat named All Lord, he coming. Thank you, Newt. All Lord Kit, and then his last name be he coming.
He coming.
Wait,
Like the warrior running nose because he was probably like running kid like a fast kid, and they were just like, okay,
Well,
your warrior name is running nose.
They do that thing where it's like they'll change what their name is to like fit, like when fucking Sparrow Pelt got half his tail ripped off, so then he became half tail. They do shit like that all the time.
Like, imagine getting named after your like disability or something. That's what they do. It's
What is
horrible.
they keep doing? So many. There's so
Yeah,
many
like
cats.
Deadfoot. His name was literally Dead Kit.
Dead Kit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had like a disfigured leg.
my kitten's named Dead Kit. He was dead. No.
And then there's also
Broken
Broken Kit.
I know.
Oh god, yeah, that's so mean. Why would you call your kitten broken?
Because she said that giving birth to him broke her heart.
He also has like a
I hate my evil son.
Wait, for real? I thought it was because he had a broken tail.
No, that was just a red herring.
Crooked, yeah, because it was
Well, Crooked Kit his name was Storm Kit, and then he broke his jaw, and then his mom was like, "You are so ugly. You are not my son anymore."
Terrible.
Crooked Kit.
Wow.
I hate Mayflower so much.
Cringe fail kid.
Yeah.
He was dead. Paw.
So where do some of the other names come from? Like you've mentioned Squirrel Flight.
She's like a big tail.
She's a big
Yeah, like a big
That's
squirrel.
Firestar's daughter.
And then but the flight thing, like Kit is for young cats, kittens, right? So
Yeah,
the one
Right.
Paw is for an apprentice, so that is learning, and then eventually they get a last name that is unique, unless they become a leader, in which case their last name is Star.
Okay, and Pelt
Yep.
is just if they have a unusual coloration or something.
Or
Yeah.
Or if you're not
It's kind of the boring.
yeah,
one.
if you're really boring.
Okay, you have a Pelt name.
Just
Okay.
Pelt.
Yeah, it goes,
You don't have a
it goes like
personality.
Kit, Paw, then whatever name, and Star is just specifically for leaders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Hawk Frost was named Frost because he has blue eyes, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Something.
He says Squirrel Flight deserves justice.
I love that little cat.
They're all little kitties.
Little kitty. I love that little kitty cat.
God says Rainflower is trash. So we got
Rainflower is trash.
Yeah, she's
Rainflower
bad.
was Crooked Kit's mom that was like, "You are so ugly now."
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah, so Florence mentions, I forgot about this. The leader is who gives you your last name. So your mom or dad
Yes.
gives you your first name. The leader gives you your last name.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So Pelt, Claw, Flight, Feather, or whatever, says Florence, is added on by the leader once they go through a warrior naming ceremony where they become a proper warrior cat at was it 6 or 8 months?
It's they
Whenever
become
you're
an
ready.
apprentice at 6 months, and then you just have to finish your training and can be whatever.
Yeah.
6 months seems kind of old for a cat that's going through training, though, given that
6-month-old cats are pretty big.
Yeah.
You're like
I mean,
a teenager.
yeah, it's like an adolescent cat. Like they can start reproducing at that age about.
Charmander did.
So I guess that's yeah.
Yeah. Because in the case, when you look at a lot of warrior cats art, they get drawn as like very baby kittens, when in reality they're probably just like larger teenagers.
it's just a smaller cat, that's all.
Yeah.
There's a law against training baby kittens to fight. They had to make that law.
Because
Shadow Clan was training toddlers to fight and die for their clan.
Yeah, they would just get murdered.
Badger
Badger
Kit.
Kit. Oh, it's so sad.
Oh, Slytherin's so raw.
Warriors is funny because I'd be reading it when I was 10, and I was like, man, these cats are so cool and edgy. And I'm like, look over at my cat sitting next to me, and it's just like sitting there, fat with its eyes and focused, like what?
The duality.
Free him into the woods so he can live his true dreams.
Topaz would die in the woods.
The bird dies.
I wonder if any kids like let their cats out into the wild because of these series.
Oh god, that is a concern of mine. Is like how
I
many
hope
people
not.
mistakenly
Jeez. Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
they don't, like take the book's attitude about like spaying and neutering, and also like don't free your cat because that's a gross
Yeah, don't do
thing to
that.
Like,
There was a
Honestly,
post
after
on
Warriors,
Tumblr recently where someone like was talking about how having outdoor cats is like bad for the environment and bad for your cat, and someone replied and it was like, no, it's not. Have you ever read Warrior Cats? They like being outside, and they were like being serious.
Oh no.
It was like, have you read Warrior Cats?
It like became a whole argument with this person where they were like, are you using Warrior Cats as a source for cat behavior?
And then there's the whole thing like, no, kids, do not go eating like the leaves that you find in the backyard. They will not cure you.
Yeah.
The aspiring medicine cats out there.
You have to chew up blackberry leaves.
Well, because there's like, they eat berries that can like literally are designed to kill you. Like,
Yeah.
if you were just a kid and like, well, if
You
you
are
were,
not a medicine cat child. Don't do that. They have to go through training.
please do not eat death berries, children.
Please not roll any type of.
We had a deadberry bush like by my house, like a holly bush with the red berries that were like
sick
and poisonous.
Oh, yeah,
Eat it.
Don't eat those.
When I was a kid, my friend's dad like picked some of those off a bush, and we were like, "Mr. Shippy, don't eat those; they're poisonous." And he's like, "We'll see about that." And he ate a few, and he had to go to the hospital and get a stomach
Mr. Shippy.
What was he thinking?
I don't know. I think he was like, "No, they're not." I've eaten these before, but I think he
read
confused them with other berries.
I know all about berries. I've read Warrior Cats, bro.
I'm an expert in cat.
You can use
Man,
like
when I read
cobwebs.
Death Berries, I think of Broken Star's death and how he just gets killed by his own mother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
It's with Yellowfang. He's like blinded by her at this point, so he literally cannot even see. So she's like, "Here, eat these," and he's just like, "What did you give to me, woman?" He's like, "No, they're death berries."
He's like foaming out the mouth.
Coming out of his mouth, and it's
Actually, that might be why it's not adapted into like a show or a movie.
That is
honestly.
that is some Game of Thrones
Traumatized
shit right
kids.
there.
Oh yeah, no, Yellowfang was like from an entire different book series altogether, basically.
Yeah.
That's why Yellowfang is best.
And Broken just killed children as well. Like he had two like kittens that they made apprentices. They're like 3 months old or something. That he was like, I'm gonna go train them in the woods. And then he came back and he's like, somehow both of the kittens died. And everyone's like, oh okay.
And he like
Yellowfang was like, you killed them, and he was like, no, actually you killed them. And everyone's like, wow, Yellowfang, how could you kill them? That's why she got chased out of Shadow Clan.
And then she got banished because everyone.
Yeah.
That's like Richard III or something. Jesus.
Yeah, it's because he brought them back and was like, give them medicine and make them alive again. And she's like, these kids are fucking dead. And he was like, how could you do this?
It's like that Eric Andre meme where it's like he shoots Hannibal and he's like,
who am I, Cat Jesus?
No, that's Firestar.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
But no, like he even like also at one point like technically kills his stepson because who was
Kill his dad.
Yeah, that too. Just a lot.
Okay, next question. Shandy Stock asks, a new series was announced recently. How do you all feel, or what do you want to see?
Bad.
Feels bad.
I stopped reading Warriors like 6 years ago.
Bad, man.
I learn everything from Twitter nowadays. You can't pay me to pick up one of these books, but I will get
now.
I am intrigued with the broken code or whatever. It seems interesting.
When I heard about like Ash for possessing Brambleclaw, I was like, oh, this would be a cool map.
Yeah. You want to make a map?
Is that just done yet? I'm surprised that hasn't been done yet.
There's been one. I've seen one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised people don't go ham on it because there's like 1,000 Ashfur and the Fire ones.
I guess we're gonna have to do it, bros.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the mystery of everyone's like, is it Ashford or is it not Ashford? It's like, of course it's Ashford.
Who else is it gonna be?
It's always Ashford.
Literally always.
All right. Next question. Jazzu Neon asks, "How's working with the Lacka crew? Spill the tea."
It's nice. I like it.
It's fun.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody.
I'm having a good time.
I'm having a yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good time, but you can say
You
so.
better
awesome.
be having a good
I'm
time.
learning like so much from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't learn 3D before this, and now like having to learn Blender and then like export things to Toon Boom, it's like it's a really nice skill to learn, especially if I want to get more into Blender and use 2D and 3D in there. So
Yes,
It's like
really
leveling up
helpful
as
with
an
that.
artist.
I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, but this will make your life easier once you actually learn how.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does.
no,
It really
it's like-
does. Like I'm definitely gonna use it from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, having
Definitely.
been
It's
introduced
I like
to-
learning like drawing on model new characters and stuff. It's really fun.
when I got my first art job, I was also like had the 3D art kind of foisted on me, and they're like, "Here, you have to learn this now." I was just like a 2D artist doing illustrations for them. And I was like, "Oh no." And I was not looking forward to it, but I actually found I enjoyed it. I quite liked it. I learned a lot that way, and I think it improved my drawing ability overall, honestly.
Yeah,
to,
it helps to have
Mhm.
some 3D experience,
Yeah.
whether it's sculpture or in the digital realm, because it helps you think in a three-dimensional way,
Yep.
which really does inform your art a lot. Because if you can think in a three-dimensional way, then it's a lot harder to piece all these It's a lot easier, excuse me, to piece all these characters together. In a consistent way. So I advise anybody getting into animation to, I don't know, at the very least, like get some clay and just have at it. Like it'll help.
But I mean,
Mhm.
generally easier to mess with Blender. I mean, it's free and
just get Blender.
no mess, and yeah.
There's so many tutorials too. You can walk
Yeah,
right through.
lots of tutorials out
every
there,
type
and
of-
it's
it's
going
free.
to. It's
And most
going,
importantly, free.
if you're looking
Yeah.
to make a career of art eventually, even if you don't want to be a 3D artist, it will behoove you to have some 3D knowledge and an ability to work in 3D. Like even things with like my comic is 2D art, but I will frequently build out sets in like I'll just block them out with cubes and cylinders and things in 3D so I can understand where things are in relation to each other, and I can kind of like zoom a virtual camera around in the scene and find like the best angles to portray something from and things like that. So yeah,
You can also do 2D animation in Blender.
yes, that's true. Yeah,
Yes, you can do that now.
Get rid of
they-
your
grease pencil.
Photoshop.
Yeah, they're improving Grease Pencil. They're actually investing a lot of energy into improving their 2D animation tech inside of Blender. So it's not just use Blender, but use Blender, and Blender is getting closer and closer to what will probably be an industry standard in the near future, because A, it's free, B, it's more stable than before, it's more usable than before, it has more versatility than before, and it can run on more kinds of computers than Maya can.
Yeah, like you can draw in it, you can animate in it, you can composite in it. It's just like an all-around program.
Yeah, you can edit in it too now.
It's being invested in by like large studios. There's a lot of plugins that you can download. Yeah, like our 3D modeler who used he is familiar with 3ds Max and Maya, has written in our chat channel, says drops Maya in the bin with 3ds Max. Exclusively Blender for a while now.
If I may interject, I have specifically not opened either of those programs since we have started this project because I despise them. At least, especially in comparison
I
to
worked with 3ds
Blender.
Max for a long time, and a little bit with Maya, and Blender is I gotta think Autodesk is frightened of the prospects of.
It should be.
It should be just like Adobe should be scared of Clip at this point, and I would think they would.
I bet they're terrified.
I bet they are. Yeah.
Absolutely terrified.
Stabilizer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, their reaction to being terrified seems to just like be to bump their prices up even higher. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
We're trapping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will happily ditch them as soon as I can, but I can't this year. So Fizzy Dizzy Studios asks, does Rocky have 9 lives? Oh, we got a joke on that one. No, what is it we said?
There was some kind of, he was supposed to have 9, but there was some kind of like Stack Overflow error or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is my
Tried
Wi-Fi
so
dying?
hard that a Stack Overflow error occurred, and so it rolled over to the limit, and now he has infinity lives.
He's the max integer.
Yeah.
It's just a bug in the system.
Yeah.
He's got hacks.
He's fully exploiting it, yes. Pie the Hat Guy says, what if some human, kind of like Christopher Robin or similar character, stepped into the world of warrior cats? What would be the response? That's a...
He'd probably leave.
It'd probably be boring.
It'd probably be like, these cats all have
whatever Hollywood
rabies.
Would do. It would be like Hollywood does warrior cats, and they have to like insert 2 children into the story to make.
They would make Firestar like a kid who got turned into a cat.
Oh yeah, and then he learns yeah, it'd be like a fish out of water thing, but then he learns how to cat better than the cats can cat because he was...
Of course. Just like Avatar.
Yeah.
Guys, just like Avatar.
Because he's a
Sorry about that.
he's a mediocre white dude, so of course he can.
Fable, when I crashed there for just a minute, did you already tell the joke that we had?
Yeah, the Stack Overflow joke. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, that was. I think that was Newt's explanation. We shouldn't take credit for it. I think that was like, It
was a collaborative joke. It was a collaborative
joke. Fair enough. Sophia says thoughts on. Oh, did you have anything else to say, Fable? Sorry.
Oh, no. There's just Sophia Gomez. Yeah, thoughts on Clip Studio. It's awesome. I have been urging Tracy since the start of this project to take on Clip Studio, and I finally got her to download it.
Yay!
Playing with it, and describe, Tracy, your feelings now.
So like I was saying earlier, not only did I pick up 3D art when I came into my career initially, I was also I started as a traditional artist. I was doing watercolor and gouache painting and like colored pencil stuff, and I got hired with that portfolio, and then they were like, okay, now you got to learn Photoshop. So that was like the first thing. And so I started working with a tablet and Photoshop, and that then came the 3D stuff. But so I've been stuck with Photoshop since the beginning of my career, and been like reliant on it since then. It was industry standard and remains so, although probably undeservedly so at this point. So I've been kind of stuck with it, and just my entire workflow is kind of built around like Photoshop functionality. But I'd always thought that I was just really bad at inking for some reason, and it turns out it's because Photoshop's brush engine is garbage.
Stabilizer, garbage, everything.
And Clip is just so much nicer to ink anything.
The difference.
Yeah.
To interject real quick, Fizzy Dizzy, the difference between Photoshop and Clip is like the difference between drawing with crayons versus drawing with actual colored pencils and stuff.
I just don't get, I mean, it's just like nice and smooth, and I don't get those janky lines that make me wonder if like, do I just have jittery hands, or am I just like that messy? Or
Photoshop cuts off pressure sensitivity at a certain level, so like as strong as your tablet ever is, it will never be like in the range where Photoshop can make sense of it.
Yeah.
So it's always like clipping off the bottom and the lower end of your sensitivity range, which is bizarre.
For real?
Like, what on earth? Why?
How the hell is it industry standard?
I don't know. It's just because it's been around a while, and it just became and it stayed there. It's like it's hard to knock something off its throat once it's there.
I had no idea that it didn't recognize all the pressure levels. Oh my god!
I've been using it for this whole production, so I'm happy.
But versus in Clip, you have granular control over those things, so you can make it feel exactly like you want.
Right. Well, I mean, Photoshop eventually introduced that smoothing function that does help a bit with, but it also makes your line lag quite a lot as you're drawing, to smooth out that like rough line work you would get by trying to draw. If you drew slowly or at all, like it would just like the more slow you would draw a line, the more wobbly and gross looking it would be.
Yeah.
And then
so I demanded that Tracy I was like, Tracy, just download it. It's inexpensive. Just download it.
I did, and I have actually been finding I switch over to Clip anytime I need to like do inks or even like touch up pencil art or something. It's just nicer to work in with line art.
It goes on sale like a million times a year.
Yeah, it's like the basic level one. If you don't buy the one with like the animation and comic,
you can animate just
comic
not longer
page
than
stuff
a second.
integrated, like it's like what, $40 or $50 or something.
It's $40 on discount, which they usually have like 2 or 3 discount days, like or discount, multiple days like a year. So like you can frequently get it at half off. Like just
I got mine for $25.
Yeah, I got mine for 25.
Yeah.
And then the advanced version only has like a few extra features, which are mostly useful, if you're doing like a long form comic, or like or you're doing like a longer form animation, and maybe like 2 other things. And it's only like twice as expensive as the base version. So even at its most expensive, before discounts, Clip will cost you, I don't know, less than $200. Which
and if you have the Pro version before you get the X version, you can get another discount where it goes down.
You can upgrade really cheaply.
It's extremely affordable. It's so affordable that it's not worth pirating.
Yeah.
That's how
affordable it is.
So
it's reasonable. It's extremely reasonable for the level of power it has in terms of even just like the inking tools and inking brushes, and a lot of its shortcuts are like the basic shortcut set is the same as Photoshop, and a lot of its jargon is the same as Photoshop, so it's really easy to switch over.
The user interface is way more morphable to your liking. Like you can take any group of brushes and create a whole new tool. Like you can set the same shortcut to multiple tools. So like let's say I have like 3 different versions of like the brush tool, and if I just press B for brush tool, it will cycle between those 3 different groups. So
I know that's my favorite thing.
I can access and make active use of way more brushes at once than I can in Photoshop. In Photoshop, it's like you'll have like the brush history, so you can see what your last brush tool was, and you can like create like some tool sets, but it's really difficult to really use more than like a handful of brushes at a time in Photoshop. Versus in Clip, like I'll have like I have so many hundreds of brushes in Clip, and I probably use about half of them on the regular. It just depends on the project I'm doing. And I'll cycle through them, and there's like a quick access bar where you can put tools and shortcuts and all kinds of things. And you can rip pieces of the UI off and paste them other places. So that's like, oh, well, I preferred like this to be over here where it's like closer to my dominant hand, but this can be over here where it's not important, or I'll just slide this into like a little tray and then hide it away here because I almost never use this tool. And so the UI is a lot cleaner. It's a little bit of a learning curve over Photoshop, but honestly, the learning curve is like a matter of like a few days and just learning what the shortcuts do. And you can reset all the shortcuts to whatever you want anyway. And like I said, like one tool, you can have multiple tools sharing a shortcut. So if you just press the same button over and over again, it just cycles between them, which is great. So, but very, very versatile.
I haven't messed with the paints so much as ink, but
but they just updated.
Oh, the paints are really nice.
I know that the new update allows you to import Photoshop brushes. So, I mean, if you've been hanging on to Photoshop because you don't want to lose the brush set you've collected over the years or whatever, you no longer have to worry about.
It was really the nail in the coffin for Photoshop.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to have an effect. So. We'll see how Adobe
Good.
responds to that, but
more questions. Smoky Ferns asks, what are you guys' opinion on Procreate, and would you recommend it for animations and stuff? I've never touched it. I don't have it.
Haven't tried
Not
it.
for animations. I like it for illustration.
I don't like it for animation, but it is good for sketching and painting.
It's good for like little GIFs maybe, just to start off.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who really uses it for animation, but
yeah,
I know a lot of
people. I've had like Rough Animator is good.
Yeah, Rough Animator is good. I've used it for a little bit, and it's limited, but it's still like very usable to like just bang something out really quick. Procreate. I don't think Procreate should be used for animation.
Yeah.
But the only pro, I guess, is that you can use all your fun brushes, but then you have to make that look nice in animation, which is very difficult, and there's no good way to like flip your drawings or like do onion skinning. So
It's like Photoshop with animation, like
yeah.
without the timeline mode. It's like the frame by frame mode where every like layer is a frame and you can't adjust the timing or anything. It's just good for like a boil effect or like a small GIF.
Yeah, so certain animation programs are better if you're just starting out, where it's like fewer tools are probably better just because you want to focus.
Yeah, there's like less intimidation with it.
You'll run up against the boundaries of the program and like the limitations pretty quickly. So, but yeah, I won't say don't go for it. Just eventually you might have some growing pains, and that's normal.
Yep.
Next question, Krita, feelings on it. Again, I haven't used Krita. You guys?
Oh, I do like Krita for animating. I've had some experience with Krita.
Okay. All right. There's a program you could look into. Annabeth asks, do you guys do a thing where you listen to songs and imagine animations, animax in your head?
Oh yeah,
of course.
All the goddamn time.
I don't know an animator that doesn't do that. It's kind of like
for real.
I do some of my writing just by like walking around.
The music has a big effect on me and like the writing I do and the motions I imagine my characters going through. Yeah.
How much Caravan Palace have you chewed through while?
A lot, like a lot of that, a lot of squirrel nut zippers, and lots of
Warriors animators know our Caravan Palace and glass animals and
yeah.
There's so much.
Yes, glass animals.
Yeah. Okay, so Das Dingu asks, if you had the chance to animate or write or be part of an official Warrior Cat production, would you?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
I do effects.
How much cat blood, Drew, can you animate?
Oh
my god.
Oh my gosh. The cat
In
blood
a
animator.
heartbeat.
On your resume.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I don't imagine there are as many explosions in Warrior Cats.
Nah, but
Make it so we can change that.
Yeah,
you can change that.
Yeah.
They have superpowers now. Fire
You can
heart
have
also
to
has fire.
I was gonna say if they had
Like
power
just
plays-
explodes.
Whenever they lose a life, they just like explode.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Nintendo bosses, I guess.
Yeah.
Jazzu Neon asks, what are you guys' favorite character to work on in Lackadaisy?
Freckle.
Yeah,
yeah.
Freckle.
Nico.
Nico. Never mind, I changed my Nico.
Oh, that's right.
Freckles
Never
got
mind,
tossed in the
like
trash
good boy.
can there. Just...
One day he's really hard to draw.
Freckles have muscles, so.
I've never drawn Freckle.
I'm not gonna go into
Yeah.
it. Not here.
There's no
I like
talking
the
on
front
Freckles,
end.
so.
Now's not the time.
Phil's just so wide-eyed and like a little doughy. He's just really fun to mess with.
He's got a good face. He's got a good expressive face. Well, who's your least favorite then?
Mordecai.
Rocky. I love Rocky, but he's so hard to draw.
Rocky's
Yeah,
Sorry,
Rocky's
cat,
face
I
from
guess.
certain angles is kind of a mess.
Yeah. It's Rocky gets the most notes, and so does Mordecai, because Rocky is just non-Euclidean apparently, and meanwhile Mordecai is a little bitch. So where it's like as you're drawing him, you can hear him say, "That's not what my face looks like."
I haven't tried Mordecai yet.
I think I've only really done Mordecai.
His movements are much more controlled and contained than the other characters who are much more like cartoons, I guess, like Rocky especially.
Yeah, Rocky can get away with a lot. Mordecai can't.
Yeah,
No.
it stops being Mordecai in character if he's too animated. So
Yeah. Like I was asked by the animators early on. I was like, "Oh, what character could you point to that like moves like Mordecai?" And I was like, "I can't, because there aren't cartoon characters that move like." Nearest I could point to is like certain anime. Anime is that a character like Mordecai would never move at all. So,
He's just a statue.
so instead, we have to like kind of figure it out together. But yeah, Rocky.
Whoa.
Man over there.
We've got a
That lives near the Thunder Path.
dang.
I'm sorry, there's so many like cars near my house, and that was just a motorcycle.
It's okay. I have neighbors who have motorcycles too, and they're constantly revving those things.
Jesus.
Okay, next question is drawing tablets. Asks Quirkash, what type of drawing tablet does everyone use? My laptop is not long for this world, and I'm looking at getting a new one. They're doing their own research.
Same.
Yeah.
An Intuos, but I just got a Cintiq.
Nice.
Yeah,
I got a
mine's
Yep, I have a Cintiq 16.
I was looking for a tablet.
That's a computer.
I
I got a computer.
I just have a MacBook.
I
Yeah.
have a Mobile Studio Pro, which is it's a Cintiq and computer in one. It's like a tablet computer, and then when I need more power, I've got a regular Cintiq plugged into my gaming laptop. So.
Yeah, I have a PC that's a custom built rig that with like a massive, what's it called? When the thing the computer is that the rig with the thing that the computer is contained inside of? I'm stupid right now. Newt, help.
The case?
Yeah, that's your desktop.
Yes, that's my desktop, and I have a 24 Pro, which is a kind of Cintiq attached to that, and a second monitor. However, I don't recommend spending thousands of dollars on something if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
Honestly, an iPad. If you're just looking to draw, an iPad is really, really solid, I think. You can like do everything on like Google Drive. You can write like papers, you can access your drive, you can like take notes in class. I think that would be a really good like starting intro thing.
Yeah, not if you're working. If you're
no.
If you're doing
freelance
really
for studios, that won't work. But
if you're doing intense stuff and like comp and editing,
no,
it's just strictly for drawing. Maybe some light animation,
illustrating, doing like color illustrations or something.
But they're so good.
That would be good.
If you are doing work but are in the budget market, I do love my my Huion 16 that I have, which wasn't, at least in the relative market compared to Wacom and everything, too expensive.
I'm using an XP pen right now, which is it was a sponsorship, but I've been using it for like 6 months and it's still really good. So because it's bigger than my tiny little old Cintiq, so I switched to it.
Yeah,
I have like a Wacom companion too.
For a while, doing I think she might still doing comic work largely.
Nice.
Okay, we have more questions, so we're gonna try to quickly get through that. And we have 13 minutes to go, but if you guys want to do a fun little bit of speculation after the 13 minutes, it's up to you. It'll be funny. So Annabeth asked, how do you get out of an art block? You just go in. First
You
off,
pray.
You pray.
Take care of yourself.
Take good care of yourself. Yeah, sleep, write, exercise. Look
rest,
look at
look
things
for
that inspire
inspiration.
you. Yeah, like read things. Look
Go
at
play
art,
with your cat.
Watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't focus on the fact that you have an art block so much. Sometimes you just have a down period where you need to absorb things. You can't constantly.
Right. The art doesn't come from a vacuum. You have to go do things and experience things and live your life in order to draw inspiration from. So it's like someone might look at you and go, "Oh, you're just goofing off. You're not working." But you need that in order to, you know.
That's something alcohol and crying in a cold shower. Yeah, I guess that's true, but I tried to explain a healthy way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're depressed also, and that means that you got to take care of your mental health. Pain also is has been a big source of block for me. So address pain. And like security and all that, like all these ideas, these are romantic notions about tortured, starving artists. Those are the worst conditions to make art in.
Yeah, like the least productive when I'm unhappy and the most productive when I'm happy and content. So.
Yeah, we have a lot of midnight lacca chats where we just have not lacca chats. We have like midnight lacca therapy with the crew. Talk about our feelings.
We've got a lot of them.
The next day. So, you guys got anything to add to that?
Yeah, just be comfy and take care of yourself.
Yeah, I found too, like sometimes like not just doing like you can still do art, but like do like studies, like go outside and draw trees and stuff like that, and just stay.
Observation.
Yeah, observational drawing, or even like find an artist you really like and kind of like see if you can imitate some part of their approach. Don't post it online and be like, I made this, and not credit them or something. But like imitating others, and you kind of like
I
reverse engineer how they do what they do, and.
Just like try to remember what it was like to draw for yourself.
Yeah.
If you're like monetizing your art, then can really cause blocks.
Yeah, when you think of all of it as I have to do this because this is my job, you kind of lose the sense of fun, and that can be stifling.
Yeah.
So I recommend also sometimes switching mediums briefly. Like, so let's say you've just been painting a ton. Maybe, like I said, like try sculpture a little bit. Maybe do knitting or cross stitch or try music. Just do some other medium to engage a different part of your brain. Because sometimes it's like too worn down a path, and that's the problem. Is that
You're in like a rut.
Yeah, you're in a rut, and if you just switch to something else for a little bit, then it's like that worn path where it's just all dirt and sand. Like, you just need to give it a second to lie fallow so that the grass can grow again, and then you can go back. So just don't panic. It's just part of the process, and you learn over time. The more you do this, that's pretty normal. If you panic, though, it can make it worse, because then you're like, I have to force myself out of this. It's
or you sit there constantly beating yourself up because you were super prolific and super productive like last year or something, and this year you're just feeling down and you're not producing as much. Like, you'll sit there and like so not only you'll sit there and like not only feel bad that you feel like art blocked, but you'll also feel bad that you're not doing as much as you were doing before. So like, just don't compare yourself to your
best self.
Because you can't always be functioning at that high, and you burn out when you do that too. Like, you might function that way for a short period of time and then you'll crash. So it's almost better to have like more of an even keel, like
Yeah, and the older you get, like, sometimes the more time it takes to do something, but the better you'll be at it, because you learn how to invest your time into what you're doing, and you're like more deliberate. So like when you're younger, you kind of like flailing all over the place, and you'll like generate a ton of material, but less of it will be as high a quality as it will be when you're older. So you'll get frustrated as you get older, going like, why is this taking me so long? It's like, because you're better, and good work takes time. And like the better you are, the more deliberate you are, the more time it can take. But then also, the less time it takes, paradoxically, because you're just that much more knowledgeable. So each piece you put out has a lot more going for it than the stuff that you did back when you were like, 18 and had limitless energy. So, Little Blue Comet asks, it's so inspiring to hear y'all's experience with Warriors and how it helped lead to your careers. What are some of your biggest takeaways and skills you learned from participating in Warrior maps?
I guess collaboration.
Yeah.
You're basically learning the entire pipeline, because you have to storyboard your part, you have to like keyframe it, rough it, clean it, composite it.
But you still want it to seem like it fits in with other people's parts in some way too. So you're still trying to be a little bit cohesive, even if map parts can look pretty different. We'll have like a similar color scheme, or like maybe character design elements, even if they're not necessarily in the same style.
Cut between the segments like feels more natural. It's not just something hard cut and everything's too different.
Yeah,
it's like this character's over here and this character's over here and doesn't make sense. And I've seen maps like that where it didn't feel like people like talked to each other much about what was coming next, and then over time that's improved.
Definitely.
Anything else on that subject?
I think the confidence it gives you is super good. Like when you have a finished thing and it's like in a full finished video that people enjoy, it makes you feel so good that you just keep doing it.
Yeah, like
and then
I remember
you improve more and more.
Entering college, like just having that Warrior Cats experience made me like one of the only people in my grade that had like previous animation experience, and it's super useful. Like
same.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's just fun too.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Okay. Last question before we get into our fun speculation zone. Smoky Ferns asks, what's your advice for someone looking to make an animated pilot solo? I'm working on a casting call. Those noises are, don't do that.
Well, you can try it, but it'll be a lot of work. Give it your best shot, but don't be disheartened if it's not what you want.
Keep the scope.
I have done it. Don't do it. It'll give you
I did it 4 times.
I mean, maybe instead of a full pilot, just tone it down to like a 2 or 3 minute thing.
Like a teaser.
Yeah, I would keep it even shorter than that. If you're doing something solo,
a minute is a lot, even like
yeah,
a minute is a lot, and like honestly, if you're just starting out, try maybe 30 seconds even. I know that sounds
try
like
a short film or
30
something.
seconds, that's so short though. It's like it doesn't feel short when you're doing it. Like
Yeah.
you want to give yourself steps. Like you can increase the difficulty as you go, but start with like 30 seconds and do like 1 or 2 things at 30 seconds and then maybe expand to a minute and then maybe multiple minutes. But you'll find that the longer it is, the harder it is to do solo. And that
It
costs
is,
money, of course. So.
Yeah, my first one is only 2 minutes and it took me like 8 months.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Don't do it. Please start small because you want to win. You want like a success when you first start out. You don't want to start something and then just crash and burn because you couldn't handle like 5 seconds.
Yeah, you kind of like set yourself up for something so daunting that you'll never be able to finish it. So it's probably better to scale back some and do something you know you can do.
But also, if it's only like 30 seconds and it sucks, or like you burnt time on it, at least it's less time, and at least it was 30 seconds of suck and not 30 minutes of that where you burnt like 5 years of your life trying to put that together, and then you know by like midway through you're like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah,
you don't want to put yourself through that. So.
You could also start building hype around your characters and story by just doing a bunch of small things.
Yeah,
do a short film,
which would help.
because that'll kind of like set you up for what the full pilot's going to be like.
You can animate your characters to like some music you like too. Like that really helps me.
So like ambition is good, but like use ambition for long-term goals, not to start. So like give yourself like some easy stepping stones at first. Anyway, we are like 3 minutes to the end, but let's see how long this conversation goes. It's up to you guys. So, Lackadaisy cats, but they're in the Warriors cats world. We were joking about this during our group chat for this, where we were deciding like the Lackadaisy cats were in the Warriors cats world. What would their Warriors cats names be? Where would they live? What clans are they part of? And how trashy does it get? And we had some fun speculation on Rocky's warrior cat name. I think one person
Loudmouth.
Loudmouth, which I love.
Yeah.
And what was the idea, guys? If you want to get into that,
he's a really good like warrior, and he's very loyal to whatever Mitzi Star is, whatever her name is. Mitzi Star, but he's like a stinky cat. Like he's kind of stinky, and he has fleas.
Which clan is it that lives in the dump? Like that's gotta be
Shadow Clan.
Blood Clan. He's definitely he's definitely a trash.
Oh yeah. They're too. Oh, maybe Blood Clan, because they like Freckles killed people. You know.
People. Blood Clan would work.
What was that? I said that they live in an alley, like behind a bar. They live in a dumpster, and like Mitzi Star is like queen of the dumpster cats.
Yeah, or she was the deputy. Fucking oh my god, Atlas Star, Atlas Star, and then she was like Mitzi, whatever. And he got fucking yeeted, you know.
Yeah.
Mitzi Tail.
Mitzi Tail. Soft. It would be soft.
Soft Pearl. I don't know.
Soft Star.
Pearl Star.
Soft Star.
Yeah.
Boozy Star.
Boozy Star.
Liquor Paw.
Liquor Paw.
Liquor Paw is the dumpster clan.
Oh, to be queen of the dumpster cats. Florence.
Queen of drunk clan.
Mom looked at this kit and went, "This is loud kit."
This is, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like, God damn, shut the hell up.
A lot. Oh my god. The Lackadaisy warrior cats would be a complete mess and a nightmare for anybody to deal with. Yeah. It's like this disorganized bunch of screamers. Why did we invite them here? Why are they drunk? I don't understand.
Daisy Clan is the one that everybody just like forgets about. They just
Daisy Clan.
Just disassociate from them. It's like no, we don't. They're not. No. There's only 4 clans. There's no Daisy Clan. What are you talking about?
They invest a lot in their medicine cats apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, they're big into the medicine, guys. Jeez, what is it? Weird
They're
berries
very
or
into
something?
medicine,
Constantly
yeah.
popping berries all the time.
That'd be what they'd be like. That'd be what they'd be smuggling around. Like, they're selling bootleg berries. They're like.
Loudmouth.
These berries are fermented.
Yeah. Loudmouth is running into ThunderClan and stealing their berries all the time. And he's going for their rats. Like, no, I gotta take these berries. And he just like piles them into his mouth and struggling not to chomp on them. And then the moment he sees someone, he's like strikes up the conversation and all the berries just spill out.
Yeah, like what? How would they just carry things in their mouths? So I guess they'd have to like. They were running, like rum running or like berry running or whatever.
Yeah, Newt's suggesting they smuggle catnip.
They just like, here it is.
that is how it works.
It's all covered in
Here,
like
Mitzi
spit.
Star, I brought you some berries.
Does he still have a little tie on?
Yeah.
A tiny tie on. Some smart ass put a tie on this cat. It's like a human-sized tie though. It's like just wrapped around.
It just got stuck on him and no one could get it off, so it was like, oh fuck it, just leave it.
He refuses to take it off. He thinks it's charming. He's constantly getting caught in things. He's been run over by cars a few times. He's fine. And people are like, oh, are you the clan leader? He's like, nah, I'm just lucky. I have
I'm so cute.
Too stupid to die.
So Chad is saying, imagine Tiger Claw being harassed by Loudmouth. Oh no, that would be bad.
He'd kill him.
He'd kill him so fast.
He would die immediately.
Yeah, no.
The problem with imagining Rocky as like an actual cat is that I'm just like, no, he's naked. That's not right.
Well,
where does his pants go?
Not if he has his little bow tie on, or the
little
tie. Yeah.
No, Freckle may or may not also have a tie on, but a little bow tie.
They're kitty pets.
Problems. Freckle is definitely a kitty pet, and his name is still Freckle. And his mom, Aunt Nina is like, Nina is also a kitty pet who's just like, don't you go running off with my sister's like stray cat of a son.
Her feral son.
Trying to get him to be a kitty pet too, but he just refused.
They're daytime warriors or whatever they're called in Sky Clan.
Yeah. There's one actually called like Freckle Wish, right? In Sky
yeah.
Clan.
Yeah, there's 2 cats called Freckle Wish. We gotta use this twice.
This is a good name, guys. 2 cats have this name.
There's 2 cats with that name.
Yeah.
It's a popular one. It's like naming your kid Tyler or something.
That makes sense that Tiger Claw would try, but Rocky apparently has infinite lives and a tie. That's right, because in Warriors Cat World, you can actually have multiple lives, so Rocky literally can't die.
Yep.
He just somehow acquired that power. The stack overflow actually functions in this world.
What about Mordecai? What would we call him? Symmetry paw.
Very eyes.
Symmetry paw.
It's usually like 1 syllable, and so the names are usually 2 syllables.
I don't know what he would be.
Silent Swipe.
Silent Swipe.
That's
Yo.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
It's almost too badass for him, though. It's like it doesn't undermine him in the.
Yeah, no, you can't make him that badass. He has to be something fussy. He's like fussy cat.
Right.
Stuffy.
Stuffy.
Stuffy pelt or something.
Does he still have little glasses on?
Of course.
Oh, please.
Little baby.
But he also still uses a gun somehow.
They have thumbs.
He's like a shooty paw.
No, he uses he
Shooty paw.
carries it around with his he still has like a holster, and he like takes out the gun with his teeth.
He's
Both paws against the trigger and pulls.
How would he
Bullet
load the
hole.
gun? It would be quite the task.
This cat's an assassin, yo. He's got a gun. There goes Scourge. Scourge. We fixed the problem, guys. And all it required was a gun.
Weird cats if the cats had a gun. Page.
Everything we saw.
Finally.
Seraphine is totally a medicine cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seraphine would absolutely be a medicine cat. She'd be something like what would be good? Like, I know Nico would be like Gator Bite or something. I don't know.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
He'd always be bringing like snakes and frogs and things back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would Seraphine be? Yeah. He would just do the same thing as he did when he was growing up.
Like, look what I found.
I found this. It's a friend. Yeah.
Maybe
and Seraphine would be like Snake Tail or something would be like
like Adder Tail or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Snake Tail or like Smoke Tail or something.
Smoke
cool.
Tail. Smoke Tail's cool.
Yeah.
Gator Crush.
Yeah.
Is it a soda or is it a
Gator Jaw?
Gator Jaw. Gator Claw.
Yes.
Do they know gators? They don't. They live in the woods.
They know.
These would be like some kind of like.
They could come across a gator one day, just like, what the
swamp
frick is that?
Yeah,
They actually are habitat dependent.
Like, that's a dragon.
Like,
They actually
the names are kind of habitat dependent. Like, the Shadow Clan names are like snake or like reptile or amphibian related.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's actually a thing.
They actually live in Florida.
not England. Somewhere.
Orlando Paw.
Yeah, Orlando Paw. Disney World Tail.
It would just be that one
Mickey
Tomcat
Mouse.
that just meanders around, and his name is still Zib.
He could be a loner, yeah.
Cats like
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are cats
He,
like
like-
that, yeah.
He comes and goes.
Yeah. Oh, that's just Zib. Oh, is that his warrior cat name? No, his name's just Zib. Was he?
Where's
There's like kitty pets in ThunderClan like that who want to keep their kitty pet names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about Victor?
Victor would
It would be Scary Eyes.
Scary Eyes.
laser vision.
Mhm.
Grumpy
He'd be,
face.
he'd be,
Grumpy face.
yeah. His kit name would be Heavy. That cat's heavy.
Big kit. Big kit.
That's one big kit.
Large.
Smash Paw.
Smash.
Was Smash Claw. Wait, that's the problem with Paw, is that it's like a child's surname, so you can't use
Yeah.
that.
Bear Claw.
People say Bear Claw.
Bear
Ooh.
Claw.
Oh, yeah, Bear Claw.
That is cute.
But it's also a food.
I love bear claws. They're so tasty.
And then Ivy would still be named Ivy because that works for Warriors cats.
Mm-hmm.
And it would just be like little Ivy just like hopping around him going like, I brought you mouse!
You'd be like
I brought a mouse! Tell me
Pepper Paw
stories.
or something.
Oh, Pepper Paw.
That's so cute.
That's cute.
So what's Wick then? Is he just like a fancy kitty pet?
He's a kitty pet, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, he's posh.
but he's only
he
ever
seems
referred
too
to by his
domesticated
full
to
name.
be hanging around
Yeah.
with these trash cats.
Yeah.
When he wants to eat the berries and the catnip, though.
He does like those berries. Yeah.
He loves his berries. He's always going to the trash alley of the Daisy Clan, going like, "Got some berries."
What you got for me?
What you got? his full name. He's just called by his full name at all times. He's always called Sedgwick.
Sedgwick.
Just to emphasize that he's like too fancy.
I can imagine an old lady owner calling his name like Sedgwick. Dinner. Sedgwick.
Francis off.
Kitty.
he brags about his litter box all the time and how wonderful. And he like when he's out hanging out with Daisy Clay, he's like, "Where's the litter box? I must make."
My litter was lavender flavored today.
I got a 5,000 square foot kitty condo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Guys, check out my catio.
It's like I'm outside.
Yeah. Yes, no, he's like, he has to like jimmy the lock to get out. His owner is very responsible. Except for the fact that she did not neuter him.
Oh.
Oh.
Bad.
It's the Mitzi would be like something pearl or something like soft pearl.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else, guys?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Cat allergies, man.
Yeah.
It's dusty in here today.
Conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you guys were
okay. We created a fun AU. Please corrupt this.
Yeah.
Karen says that he's a show cat, so they can't neuter him, and that's why.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's a show cat. Yeah.
He's a
Very
show
important
cat.
bloodline.
Oh, he's a
yeah.
Very
stud.
important cat.
Yeah. A star. Oh no. No. Pearl fur. That's cute. Pearl
fur.
star.
Pearl is adorable. Cute. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Mitzi as a cat would still have pearls.
She still wears a pearl necklace.
Yeah. Imagine them without like.
She found it by the beach.
Yeah.
She did. It's like plastic, but you know they like it. So.
Like one of those like Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah. It's fine. She
Yeah.
got it from Smoketail.
Yeah.
What I want to know is where Mordecai got the gun.
In the dumpster.
Yeah.
The dumpster it was used in a murder.
This is mine.
Some gangster threw it away.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this was.
Oh, someone's asking where to send fan art.
You can tag us on Lackadaisy. So
yeah, if you Harold.
Yeah, like tag Tracy or so at Lackadaisy Cats or Lackadaisy Film, or you can just use the hashtag Lackadaisy, and we'll see it. We pay attention. You could also post it in the Lackacord, which is the community fan Discord. Okay, before we go, we need to decide on what Mordecai's warrior cat name is, though, just to make this easier.
It was like
big brows.
Big, yeah. White brow.
Danger brow.
Snippy cat.
Shadow stalk.
Wait, isn't that an actual character?
Maybe.
I think
honestly.
so.
Fussy kill.
Fussy,
Fussy
yeah.
kill.
Fussy kill. That is what he is. Fussy pelt, and he's always cleaning himself. Like he's always stopping, like constantly. He's like, oh, my fur's out of place. Lick.
Fussy tail.
He's like trying to align the gun that he notices like his tail has one stray hair, and he's like, "Oh no, I had to stop everything." Lick.
Like,
I think Shooty Paw or Fussy Kill are definitely
Shooty Paw.
Shooty Paw. What's your name? My name
Sniper
is
Claw
Gun
is just
Kill.
too cool. It sounds
Gun.
like
Glock.
My name is Gun, and
Gun.
Gun cat.
Clock. Glock tail.
Glock tail.
Yeah, it's prehensile.
The idea that they would be able to distinguish a Glock from like anything.
Like Scourge put dog teeth in his paws, he puts a Glock on his tail.
Yeah. It's like strapped on.
Yeah.
His tail's real.
He says he was born with it.
Yeah. It's natural.
Yeah.
Gun tail. That would gun.
I think you broke Fable.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's a really funny image.
Someone draw a gun tail.
I want gun tail
We'll have
now.
things to draw for wine
Yeah.
late at night.
Oh wait, one more. Atlas. Who's Atlas? What's his name?
Atlas. Well,
Big
there's
boy.
Asa. Asa is like the leader of Marigold
Clan.
Marigold Clan, yeah. Clan Hotel.
Clan Hotel. They live in a hotel.
Well, he would just be Sweet something, wouldn't he?
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, it'd be like Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. His last name is Sweet, so he can be Sweet Tooth. There you go. You did. We did it. Now everybody can do very stupid fan art.
Go
and
for
we
it.
will love every each and piece. Please. Oh my
Glock
god.
tail.
Tracy, please Glock tail. Please show everybody Glock tail, please.
Glock tail.
There he is.
That's what he does.
Like a Pokemon.
Before we leave,
Yeah, Pokemon.
He's
He
cool.
evolved into.
Pokemon gun.
I gotta turn off a bunch of things here.
You gotta just slide it on in. Let's see.
Who drew that?
That was Star
Star.
Raptor.
Thank you,
Glock
Star,
tail.
for blessing us with this.
You're welcome. Enjoy him.
Aaron Hunter, call us. We have ideas.
Please consider.
I do like Glock
What about
tail.
him?
Imagine all the
Glock
fan letters
tail.
they've gotten, like, proposing different cat characters. Like,
Yeah.
Dear Aaron Hunter, as part of a team of also very famous internet cats, let me suggest to you a new character, my OC. You may steal Glock tail. That's a gun.
And the glasses.
Yeah, glasses. He's extremely emo, and he wants to be the cleanest cat of all time. He's an assassin, but he hates blood. he'll be able to solve any problem, I swear, but with a gun. Anyway, thank you. Goodbye. Glock tail. Anyway.
all right. On that note, I don't think we can get any better than that. Honestly,
No,
I think it's
no.
all downhill from here, so let's wrap it up. Newt had to run.
Yeah.
Already, so.
And so, thank you so much for joining us. I had a great time. Thank you, teammates, for your coming to Shop Talk and talking about your experiences as Babu animators, and now you are grown up and drawing cats for money.
What could be?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? The answer is you'll see.
Yeah.
You are currently seeing everything that can go wrong.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure working with you. Of course, we're not done yet, so we've still got a long way to go, but it continues to be a pleasure to work with you, and we really appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with us today, because this was a very fun conversation.
Super fun.
Hell
I
yeah.
also, genuinely hope that it's like encouraging to young artists out there that like there's avenues for getting into animation or art careers by just pursuing stuff that you enjoy and putting it out there. So
I can't stop laughing at this stupid.
you can't be serious with Blacktail, like just like pointing his gun at you.
Perfect. In this moment. Oh my god.
Okay. All right, everyone. Signing off here. Thanks for